Good evening, everybody. Happy Monday night. I hope you can hear me. I think I put my microphone on. I'm a little loopy today. Had a really good show last night, a Beatles show down in a town called Harbor Square. Not Harbor Square, Stone Harbor, excuse me. The venue was called Harbor Square Theater. The town is called Stone Harbor, New Jersey. It's a little beach spot down in New Jersey. And I got in like 3 a.m. and had a really busy day. Hey, CJ, how you doing? Hey, Steven. Welcome, guys. So excuse me, please, if I sound a little tired, lethargic. It's just it was a really long night and a really long day, but it is Monday, so therefore we must be on. I hope everybody's doing well. I have something so cool to show everyone. Once we get a bunch of people in here, I'll introduce you to the topic du jour. My wife was driving local to us, maybe a mile away, 2 miles away on a little local road, and she said that, I don't know, a couple of cars were stopping short and like weaving around an object. She's like, what the heck is this? It was just a big box in the middle of the road. And my wife, being the kind woman that she is, said, somebody's going to get hurt. Let me go out and move the box. And she goes out to move the box, and she said it was almost immovable. It weighed so much. Turns out this item, I think, is about 100 pounds. It's really hefty. But again, I'll show everybody and actually ask your opinions on what she found and what we should do with it. Well, we know what we're doing with it, but it's a matter of really trying to figure out exactly what we have acquired. But hey, Ali, how you doing? How was your whatnot? I hope you did well today. I caught the very beginning again for a minute, and then that's kind of when I'm setting up dinner and all that for the show. So I'm sorry. I would have liked to hang out a little longer. I hope it went well for you. But wait till you see this thing. Actually, let me fiddle around and see how I can share this with everyone. I hope I can share it. Hello, how are you? Kristen, happy Monday. Good to see you. Welcome back. I saw some video footage of your little outing. I forgot what it was called. You tell everybody about it. I forgot what it was called, but I saw videos from you, a few other people. The Flip Convention or something like that. Slow start, huh? That's okay. Sometimes patience, well, most times patience is a virtue, right? So hopefully if you hang out for a bit, people will come in. Hi, Barbara. How you doing? Welcome aboard. Yeah, I'm going to show what I did is I took 3 pictures. Well, my wife actually took 3 photos of this thing in the road. And how you doing, Memphis Blazer? Welcome aboard. Good to see you back. Hope you picked up some goodies. I know on Friday, I think you were out there in the whatnot stratosphere getting some cool items. Hope you scored on some. Happily, I did get through a bunch of listings for the postcards I was talking about on Friday. So that was a lot of fun. FlipCon, that's what it was called. Sorry, the name escaped me. We have so many funny names for these things nowadays. FlipCon, yeah, that's awesome. Everybody go check that out. It looked like a lot of fun. Looks like all you guys had lots of fun. Yeah, let me see how I could share. I could share so many things. I don't know if I could share the simple photo, believe it or not. So let me see. I opened up all the photos. Yeah, she certainly was there. I saw all over her Instagram. She had a bunch of photos, little video clips. It looked like a lot of fun. All right, these are all open. Why can I not share this? There's always a way. We will not be beaten by the Windows machines. I can't wait to show everybody this thing. It's so cool. I'm not even trying to like tease everyone and hold off. We just got it home, and the thing literally weighs like $100. Thank God I have a hand truck for the equipment, for the musical equipment. So we actually had to use that to get it into the house. So shipping should be a blast. That's going to go UPS, I guarantee you. But this item is brand new. I still don't know what it is exactly, or what it's. I know it's a radio. Question is, what kind of radio? What? It's some sort of industrial radio. Again, I'll show everybody once I figure out how to show a photo. You met a lot of cool people. Very cool. Hey, Susan, how are you? Welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. You have to see it. I can't remember following you. YouTube. I think it is the same, right? Or close. Hey, Jody, how you doing? Jody has a nice little Jody's Marketplace Boutique on her YouTube channel. She's been reading old letters that she's acquired, World War II era letters, like to home from soldiers. That's kind of cool. Check that out. Check out Jody on her YouTube channel. I can't wait to show you guys. I guarantee you, somebody like Steven's going to come through with the answer for me on this one. I just have CJ. CJ's in the mix. Guaranteed, he's in the mix for this. I just can't, for the life of me, figure out how the heck to share these photos. And it's driving me nuts. I've never had a problem sharing photos until now. Of course, there we go. First, let me close out the old ones. Maybe that's what I gotta do. I know it's very entertaining hearing somebody mumble. But. All right, let me see if this works now. We have the window open, and I'm going to try to share a photo. You see, you can share screens. There we go. All right, it's up. Wait till you guys see this. Oh, yeah, wait till you see it. Does that work? There it is. All right. I present for all your consideration this thing. I'm going to give you the backstory one more time because people are trickling in now. 2 hours ago, my wife is driving on a road about a mile away from our house, a place we always go to. She was just driving. In the middle of the road, she noticed some people weaving around an object, and it looked like it was just a cardboard box of some kind. So my wife, who's a very caring person, considerate person, got out and said, let me move this box because somebody's going to swerve into the other lane. She goes to get the box. The thing weighs like 100 pounds. She could barely move it, but she gets it into the car. Says, what the heck is this? It's a brand new item of some sort. Well, that's a photo of it. So take a look at that. You see at the top left, it says Radio 4449, right? So everybody got a good image of that? Because it might take another 10 minutes for me to figure out how to put the second picture up. All right, let me try the second photo now. So that's like the face of the object. Then you got this crazy one. It has some kind of like heat sink on it, almost like you would put on a CPU. For those of you who know about that, if you're putting a CPU, a computer together, CPU has a fan on it. Well, check this out. Let's see if we could do this. Okay, let's try that. It looks like it might work. All right, you see that now? If you look at the right side of the image, that's what we were looking at from this direction, the face of it with the dials. This is the top. Okay, you see those like sort of heat sink fans? And again, I can't impress upon everybody enough. This literally probably weighs more than 100 pounds. I couldn't lift it. I mean, I could lift it, but it was just dead weight. So we went and got the hand truck. Yeah, CJ's saying it gets hot, right? It looks like a giant heat sink of some kind. This thing, as you see, is brand spanking new. It's in styrofoam. The only reason it's open is because my wife opened the box. When she first opened it and showed me this picture, we thought it was an air conditioner. It looks like a regular window air conditioner, doesn't it? And now for image number 3. Again, I'm sorry about the slow moving action here, but okay. Here's the box, which has all the descriptive information one would need, you would think anyway. So we'll share this one. And that'll be it. And then again, I'd love to know everybody's opinion on what the heck we have here. It is a radio, folks. It's a radio of some kind. And there's the box. The company is Ericsson, E-R-I-C-S-S-O-N. Correct, Stephen. It's a radio. Now, well, that's fine and dandy. First of all, what's a remote radio mean? Like, it looks like some industrial strength radio. I don't know if it apparently fell off of a truck is what we've derived. We think it just must have fallen off a truck. You know, I don't know if they were delivering, maybe the Ericsson company itself was delivering this to some retailer. We don't know. But it was right there in the middle of the street, literally in the middle of the street. She picked it up. You can see the bottom right of the box. It's a little bit of a dent. That's the only damage this whole thing absorbed, was a little bit on the box. But that's all the specifics. Well, anyway, we looked this thing up. We looked this thing up on the eBay. And lo and behold, I'm going to pull up the picture that has like the front, this Radio 449. It says IP65 Type 3 enclosure, Ericsson AB 16480, Stockholm, Sweden. Long story short, folks, this thing, if If you go take a look at that, look up on eBay, Ericsson IP65 Radio 4449. Absolutely brand new with the caps still on all the dials and whatnot. It goes for like $1,000, $750, $1,000. The used ones that sold, there was a couple of comps, so like 500, and they were dirty and nasty, and they said could not test, all that kind of stuff. So I think we just basically fell into like between a 500 conservatively to $1,000 potential item. I don't even know what to say. Again, 100 pounds easily. Might even be more. I haven't weighed it yet. We left it upstairs. I didn't bring it down. All my office kind of stuff is down in the basement. We didn't have the strength to bring it down the stairs yet. I want to do some research first. It does have all the UPC codes, so I banged out my old UPC gun and presented us with some information. So anyway, it is crazy. The thought that this was just sitting in the road like that, and she happened upon it, and so many people literally drove around it, you know. So maybe the good eBay luck is on our side. Memphis Society picked up a cool out of an estate sale. 36 GM annual reports, 50s to 90s, issued by GM to stockholders. Interesting, very cool. Pictures of upcoming models of cars. That's really cool. The older ones consistently sell for 20. That's a beautiful thing. Congratulations. All right, Steven, talk to me. What does this mean? Access remote radio channels indoors. Can it get like every radio station on the planet? Yeah, isn't it crazy? Access this bandwidth between 75 and 85. Yeah, you've done a lot more digging. This is still new for us. We didn't really have time to delve into the specifics of it. I definitely intend to at some point, but like, wow. I mean, I'm looking at the that label that I showed everybody. It says okay to ship. It has like an inspection, something on it. It looks like it's a product of Sweden. Actually, you know what? There's a pink label. It's part of it's a T-Mobile label. Duplicate label for use on storage box. So it's something from T-Mobile. Again, to my novice eyes, it looked like some sort of industrial strength radio device. Maybe it has something to do with cell phone towers. I mean, I don't know what we got, but we have it. Hey, Lori, how you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hope you're doing well. Isn't that crazy? Lori, we found this crazy. The topic so far, my wife found this crazy box literally in the middle of the road. Yeah, but this is brand spanking new, Steven, so it's not like it's a vintage thing or anything. Lori, we found this crazy box. My wife found a box in the road. It turns out to be this. If you look up in the chat here, you can see Steven's been the most productive with what the heck this is. It's some kind of super access remote radio channel indoor crazy 100-pound metal device. Yeah, Lori says, I'm not. Jody's saying, yeah, we could probably reach Mars or something with this thing. Somebody going to get in trouble, exactly. And truth be told, I was a little worried too. I'm like, maybe we shouldn't do anything with this because I don't know if it's like if somebody's going to think it's stolen or maybe they'll report a serial number. I don't know yet, but we picked it up, and the honest impulse of my wife is to just get it out of the road so that nobody hit it. You know, but thank God she did. 100 pounds could have screwed up somebody's car. Well, anyway, that was excitement this afternoon, about 5 o'clock, a couple hours ago. It did not get damaged, Stephen. In fact, I don't know if you noticed in the first photo, it was really well packed up, styrofoam, all that good stuff. It's completely unhurt. The only damage was like a little dent in the box itself, the cardboard. Oh, man, KRC. Hold on. Let's pull it back up. I knew you two guys would be all over this thing. Where would I see that, CJ? KRC 161756-1. Is that what you wrote? Yep. No, 746-1. CJ. KRC 161756/1. It has factory codes. That's the Ericsson product number. It has a serial number. Um, just craziness. I can't get over how heavy this thing is. It may be registered because of being short. Yeah, I guess that's possible. Literally fell off the truck, Laura. Like, not even joking the slightest bit. And then my wife sent me those pictures after I don't know how she got the strength to get it out of the road. My God, this thing is very heavy. And she put it in the car and took those pictures and said, honey, what is this? And she wasn't even going to open it. It was unopened. It was taped up. It had this black, like the ties, the plastic ties that you'll see sometimes that wrap around like a selection of magazines. Let's say those white kind of plastic ties that has a little glue thing and it rips off. Well, these were about an inch or two thick and they were black, and there was like 5 of them surrounding the box. So that thing didn't go anywhere, you know. Someone's going to turn it on remotely and be monitoring what goes in my house. Yeah, I know. Yeah, but like Jody was saying, maybe we'll contact Mars or something with this thing. Straps, yeah. Or as a novice might call them, straps. Yeah. I was overcomplicating that description, but I was just trying to, like a newspaper, it's wrapped up in that plastic strap. Yes. But these things with heavy duty. I do indeed, Jody. Thank you. But what's really cute is, again, she did it just to save people the hassle of banging into this thing. She's like, everybody's just going around it. And nobody's taking a look at what it was. So, time will tell. I'll keep everyone posted on that thing. Might just hold off for a little while and see what happens, because it's true. What if like a red light comes on tonight or something and this helicopter's flying over the house? I don't know. We haven't powered it on or anything. It's just sitting upstairs in its original box. But wow, the things that happen. And she was joking. She's like, why couldn't it be a box full of $100 bills or something? Anyway, I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, how's everyone doing? It's Monday. As you see, Travis is still not here. Travis is on he went on a vacation, and something happened during the vacation where he had to come back home briefly. So now he's back out in New England vacationing. So let the boy enjoy. I said, take your time. When you're ready, you're ready. In the interim, we'll just chat. And we're going to have Kristen on. Kristen was scheduled for tonight, Royal Squirrel, but unfortunately, because of Travis's thing, we figured we'll wait until he gets back so we can both have a nice conversation with Kristen. I'm looking forward to that. We're working on some dates in early to mid-September right now. Yeah, they are hysterical, aren't they? Waiting impatiently for the fall weather. It just seems to be getting hotter. You got to remember, fall isn't for another, 3.5 weeks. So I don't think it's going to get here, in the end of August. But we'll see what happens. It's scorching out there in our area. Very, very humid, too. But the sun is definitely setting earlier. Like right now, we're at 7:38 is our sunset time here in the east. And it was after 8 o'clock a week ago. So it's starting to rapidly get closer. That's one thing I don't like about. I love fall. Generally speaking, it's my favorite season of the year, but it is definitely depressing when the daylight just seems to evaporate in front of your eyes like so rapidly. But everything else about the season I love. How was everybody's weekend as far as sales go? Any good news? You can even bring up bad news. I know everybody likes to talk about bad stuff. Not bad necessarily, but like if there's any glitches or any shipping issues or anything like that, any crazy buyers, any low ball offers, everything's on the table tonight because it's Monday and I'm hurting. So the more you guys can bring up and bring to the table, I'm all about it. I don't really have much of an agenda. If it wasn't for that thing falling off the truck, would have been struggling for a topic tonight. I put in the description, about what Ali was just saying about fall is coming within a month or so. And it's time definitely to ramp up and get products listed so that when these buyers realize summer's over and start, hunkering down for the fall and the winter and they're in the buying spirit, we'll be ready and poised with tons of fantastic items. Great weekend of sales. Oh, yeah? Monday's always the longest trip. That's great news, though. I'm going backwards. Sorry, I think I skipped ahead a little bit. Picking up, hoping that's a good sign. Yeah, mine too. I hope it's a good sign as well. Yeah, same here, Steven. It's in the low 90s today and very, very humid. The Beatles show I did last night, thank goodness, was indoors. It was in a nice theater, but it was still soupy hot. It's right down on the water. It was very soupy. So like loading in was hot, loading out was hot. One of my Facebook groups has notified everyone not to share Worth Point info because the admins were contacted by them. Not to share Worth Point info, like what we've been doing on the show for the last 6 months. Is that what you're saying, Lori? Let's say last weekend, then it died today. We still have what 4.5 hours left in the day. You never know, Steven. Hey Kelly, good evening. Sales were good this week. Good. Spent a few hours trying to get a cheap A3 scan of that Plus Tech. Yeah, without question. Absolutely, man. Yeah, that's the one. If you're gonna do the ads, that's the one. I think that what are they like $350 now? For $350, $400, I think. You might be able to get a secondhand one that works well. I hope. Good luck, Kelly. You just got home from. I always forget you're so far behind us. Yeah. And an auction place. Cool. Now let me revisit this. All right. So somebody from Worth Point was. Let me reread this. FYI, one of my Facebook groups has notified everyone not to share Worth Point info because the admins were contacted by Worth Point. Okay, that's fair enough. Yeah. Hope you enjoyed it while it lasts. $350 on eBay now. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, save up, man. I mean, it's really money. I know you know this. It's definitely money well spent if you can afford it, and you're definitely getting a nice stash of very good print ads. I might add, tremendous print ads. I might add. So, it probably warrants it for you. I'll actually keep my eyes out too, Kelly. If I see anything out there that's like used, they don't come up for very often. It took me a long time to find that one, and I think my search term that finally got it was the blueprint thing. I was like blueprint dimension scanner or something like that when I found that, because we were looking high and low for something that was large enough for a long time. I couldn't find it, so I was very grateful to find that thing. I love it. Oh boy, very good. Enjoy them. Yeah, everybody should be good. I'll be doing another Whatnot Wednesday night. Same thing. 6 o'clock is going to be my slot, at least for the foreseeable future. It's a good time for me. Personally, it seems like a good time. A lot of people come in, which is the best part of it. I try to see, like, what people want, like what works for people, and what the best time is, the best day is. And it, for some reason, that seems to be a nice little slot. So we're going to stick with it for a bit. But Wednesday at 6, I'll be on again. And I do believe, I'm going to check really quick on Whatnot, that everybody, when was the last one? The 24th. I think everything's been delivered at this point. If it hasn't been and you're out there, let me know. It's funny, Memphis Laser, it still says yours is shipping, but you got it today. Maybe it just takes a minute or two to kick in. But I hope you enjoy them. They arrive safe and sound. I'm trying to say, there actually is one more that still says shipping. Let's see, hold on. Nope, but it was delivered today. Yay. All right, good. So last week's, everybody should have theirs by now. Yeah, I can give you the exact, excuse me, Stephen, let me give you the exact dimensions. Kelly's right. I think it might even be 18. 17 or 18 is the max. Plus Tech, it's called a Plus Tech Optic Slim, Plus Tech with a K, Optic Slim, A3. I know I have a link in one of my videos to it, but I'll show everybody. A3. Anybody that's interested in this. Yeah, there's actually one for $339 on eBay, Kelly. Maybe it's used. Yeah, 11.7 times 17. You're right, that's what it says. If anybody wants to check it out, I'll send you guys a link. But let's make it a little more digestible because it's a long, long link. Great product. That's the scanner if anybody wants to check it out. That's just a listing that popped up on eBay. $340. Good, thank you, Ellie. I mean, I always ship the next morning after the event. Like whenever I have, it's really up to the post office. I mean, I know it's ready to roll the next day though. But I appreciate that. I'm glad everybody gets it. Trying a million different keywords. Yeah. The one that did it for me, Kelly, well, like I said, was Blueprint. Blueprint. So I'm still waiting for an answer from another seller. Oh wow, really? They're not shipped? Boy vey. Is it physically a lot bigger than the scan size? Hold on. Let me see if I have a. I'll give you the exact dimensions. 1 second. I got to remember it's 21 inches wide. Shoot, 14 or 15 tall and about tall if you're laying it flat and about 3.5 inches depth. So 21 inches is the footprint, the width anyway. Yeah, I know. There's little anybody can do, but it is frustrating. I agree. Gotta wait till payday. Gotcha. Hey, Jay Smith, how you doing? Yeah, a lot of people use this Caesar. I know Papergoy uses it all the time from $1 Million Peddlers. He does books. It apparently works really well for books. Popeye uses Caesar, the 450 model. He uses it for his dental books. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, to each their own. Whatever you want to use. This one works really well for me. It's a common. I haven't had one, let alone not just magazine, anything. I've even been able to get some small posters on that. One of the best things for me was album covers. I've been scanning album covers, which is really nice. They come out really crisp. Instead of, if anybody does records, if you like lean it up against the wall, let's say in like a photo box, and you take a picture, it's always going to have like kind of a slant. So it's really nice to get a crisp scan of the front and back of the record covers. Comes out excellent. So it has many uses. And then if you have something that's a regular like 8.5 by 11, what's kind of cool is you could fold it and you could get like two sides. It's wide enough that you can fit two sides. It has a cover, obviously. You pull down and you can get both sides of a page if you'd like to. Everybody's Mrs. Flipper just came down. We were talking about the device that you found, honey.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
The one I almost ran over in the middle of the street.
The one you almost ran over and you kindly took out of the way.
Oh, I did.
Goodness of your heart.
And then I saw that it was closed and brand new, and I just shoved it in the car. Had no idea what it was. Just shoved it in the car.
We have several people.
About 75 pounds. Just.
I think I said it was 100, but
it was probably. I mean, it's pretty. It's really heavy.
I know.
Like when I was like,
so we got people on it doing some.
Yeah.
It also says, which I didn't realize, T-Mobile. There's a pink T-Mobile.
There's a pink T-Mobile.
So we were discussing the potential for it being like reported as lost or something. It might have a tag.
Can report it all they want.
And then a few people said maybe we can remote into Mars or something, try to contact aliens.
No.
I said if it starts
absolutely
if it starts blinking a red light tonight or something, or helicopters are flying overhead.
The one thing we don't know about Mrs. Flippett is I cannot stand aliens. Petrified of aliens. I don't know why. They're probably a lot smarter than we are.
I actually keep mine. Steven is on the floor underneath because I know what you're saying. Desk space is at a premium, so the flatbed is actually in back of me on like a little table down low.
Oh, you should see the setup this man has.
Yes, you should. We're gonna do a video about the setup one day. You're on the fence with the Caesar and Plus Tech, knowing I'll likely buy both at some point.
Okay.
I guess they both have benefits. I mean, for the ads, Kelly. Hi.
Is Dawn on?
Not yet.
Okay. If anybody else I know, bye.
Oh, there you go on Amazon, CJ. What is it, about $350? Correct. It is technically a business expense, right? So contact your accountant for the feasibility of writing said device off. I am so insanely thirsty. from lifting that thing into the house and all my equipment I had still to bring in. Probably both. That's what's scary about this thing. I was thinking, like I said, we might be able to contact Mars. So I will definitely keep everybody posted on this. And talk about, I always talk about things for new videos. This warrants a video, I think. We didn't steal it. It literally fell, as Lori said. It's like the old joke, right? It fell off the back of a truck. This thing fell off the back of a truck. So these things do happen in real life. Oh, this is a link for my video. Cool. Thank you, CJ. Yeah, absolutely, man. That you can. I would contact a CPA, but certainly that is an option. Thank you very much, CJ, for that. Old sheet music and stereo postcards. Ooh, very cool. Love the sheet music. We've discussed that a few times on this channel. Big fan of the sheet music. Sold two pieces of sheet music over the weekend, which represents probably a high. I like two separate purchases. I've had a couple of people pick up, 3 or 4 at a time if they're big collectors or whatever. But this was 2 individuals, each buying a piece of sheet music over the weekend. That's good work. We talk often about this long tail philosophy. Sheet music falls into that category for sure. But to see how if you build up, like Kelly knows, if you have a bunch of postcards and you have a bunch of print ads and you have a bunch of sheet music and you have the combination of all those things, even though they're all long tail, hopefully you're still going to generate sales, daily. Yeah, some of the stereo cards, I don't know enough about them. I've seen them and some of them look really cool. And I want to thank Kelly. I reached out to him over the weekend. I think it was Saturday, Kelly. I had a question about a postcard, and I went on Instagram. I have his Instagram, so we just messaged. I was like, I wanted to confirm something before I listed a postcard. I'm getting into the postcards now, so thanks for that, Kelly. You need to get listed. Well, now's the time. No time like the present. Yeah, well, this weekend was kind of a return to normal for me. As normal is defined as my, regular expected weekend sales after a couple of woeful weekends. This weekend was nice, respectable. And I wasn't even home yesterday to list it all, so there was no listings for Sunday. But I got a bunch up Saturday. I got a bunch of postcards up Saturday, which I had a lot of fun doing, learning about them. Now, CJ, the interesting thing is we just got somebody put the kibosh on that from, let me go back to the post, CJ. Lori had a post about somebody in a Facebook group was supposedly contacted by somebody over at Worth Point saying, please don't publicly use this site or something. You can always shoot me an email, CJ. Just shoot me an email. Story views a long tail for sure, but they do say yes. Yeah, I use Terapeak for a lot of things, Stephen. I think most of us do. We bought some print ads on whatnot that included sheet music. Oh, that's cool. Oh, bag, board, and seal. Beautiful. Listed the sheet music and had to issue a refund because it was just the cover. Oh, that's not cool. Not cool at all. Buyer beware, huh? And that's on a whatnot. So did he just show, or he or she just showed you the cover and you assumed obviously that there was music inside, huh? There's a good one for the future if anybody offers that. Say, hey, you mind opening up the piece of music? Yes, Kelly, thank you very much. Why? You should have had him open it. You didn't know. Send me an email, CJ, with that request. We will take a look for sure. CJ has a music singing story, January 1899. Oh, man, that's awesome. The best piece of sheet music I've sold so far was from 1896, and it was, wow, I should memorize the title of the song. It was an image of the man on the moon kind of thing, the face. Shoot, what was it called? It's too long ago to look up now. Maybe not. See, if I had Worth Point, I could look it up. But anyway, it was really cool. It was all like a night, like blue sky with stars, and the man on the moon face, the cheesy face. I can't remember the name of the song, but it was a really good piece of sheet music. Sold very well. Huge, too. This thing, that stretched the border of my Plus Tech scan. I'll tell you, that thing must have been about 17 inches long. It was huge and fantastic condition for 120 years old, But I like the sheet music a lot. There she is. Oh, I'm sorry about that, Dawn. Miss Flippett was just here, and she said, "Is Dawn on? I want to say hi to Dawn." And you weren't on at the time. Hope you stay safe. Severe thunderstorms, huh? You know, we always talk weather, and it's been very, very hot and sunny around these parts. So let me see. Let me check out the radar. Yes, I do see storms coming through Dawn Right territory. Looks like it's a rather fast-moving system, though, Dawn. So you should be good. That's way north of me, so we don't have anything coming or expected to come anyway. That's a byproduct of these crazy heat, right? They were tightly sealed. Seller was just selling as they received it. Gotcha. Still saying stuff. Yep. Mighty Righty is here. How you doing? Hey, Cameron. How you doing? Welcome. Good to see you. Dawn has a cell phone. Do you ever play old vintage sheet music? Oh, play the actual songs? No, I haven't. A lot of it, you guys probably know. A lot of the, I guess it all depends on how you define old. But like the ones that we have were 30s and prior. Most of the stuff that I have, this big stash we got, and a lot of it is like ragtime music. Broadway scores, musicals. We have some very early Bing Crosby, which is kind of cool. But a lot of the notation is for ukulele. Very popular instrument. They have like piano, and it's always vocal because it has the regular staff. But it was like vocal, piano, and ukulele. And I don't know if I could play a ukulele because I've never held one in my hand. I'm sure I could figure it out. You have bad storms too, huh? Oh wow. Is it any cooler behind these storms, guys? Because everything you get, we're going to get eventually because you're west. You bought some music at an auction once, and half of them were just the covers. Man, really? I'm glad we weren't burnt by that. Although ultimately, I'm pretty sure ultimately, a lot of the buyers for those things, like we've discussed, especially like with the print ads, is they're probably just going to display the covers anyway. But that should be stated if you're buying these things, you know? Yeah, she's back upstairs, Dawn. I'll let her know you said hi, though. Thank you. You found one. You got all excited because it was signed. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, ukulele, tons of it. It's just a product of that time, I think, Stephen. It was very popular instrument in the 30s, 20s, 30s, that ragtime music, like we said, and all that stuff. Irving Berlin Music Company, all this stuff. It's all ukulele. I know they're tuned differently than guitars, but I'm sure I can figure it out. Now you got me. I got a hankering to play a ukulele now. Hot till Thursdays. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, you're way north, though. We have take this all with a grain of salt because, as we know, they can't predict weather for the next hour, let alone a week out. But my thing goes out to September 7th, Wednesday. And every day is 87 to 91 for us, unfortunately, all the way through to the 7th. You guys have any big Labor Day plans? Everybody do anything cool? Yeah, the paper could fall out of the covers. That's a good point, absolutely. But I still think if you're selling it, you should indicate that it's the cover only, obviously. What the state song for Idaho? Cool. What would the state song of Idaho be? That's a Final Jeopardy question, right? Most directly east of you, so thanks for sending it here. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Welcome. Right now it is, Dawn? Oh, my goodness. Batten down the hatches. Hey, Kim. You have your grandfather's uke from the 20s? How cool is that? Send it my way. I'd like to play. I'll give it back to you. They're actually pretty inexpensive. Like, I'm not that one from the 20s, but I mean, if you want to get a new one, they're not expensive. They're really tiny. Has a cool sound. I could add another instrument to my arsenal. Yeah, like I said, I take that with a grain of salt, man. Especially from playing outside all summer long. It's incredible how wrong the weather people can be. You have a painted mermaid. Of course you do. Of course you do. Really cool. Anybody doing anything for Labor Day weekend? Anybody having some fun? Anybody have a cool sourcing opportunity? it's for marketing purposes. They call it the end of summer, even though it's not the end of summer for several weeks after that. But it's the psychological end of summertime. I know a lot of people try to get their last minute sunbathing activities and pool activities and all that good stuff going on. We're actually going to visit. My wife and I are going to go out and visit a friend of hers who lives in Long Island in New York, who's from this area, but she moved. She got married a couple of years ago, moved out to Long Island. So I'm excited about that. Going to a German restaurant, a proper German restaurant, one of which I've never been to. I've never been to a German restaurant, so I'm kind of excited. Try something new, different types of food. They have a beer garden. It's the heart of Long Island. It's not like I'm going to Bavaria, but it's supposed to be authentic. And her husband is of German descent and speaks highly of it. So I'm kind of pumped for that. I think Saturday night we're going. I just like the idea of going to a totally different restaurant, that I've never been to. Are there any uke solos in the Beatles music? No, George Harrison solo stuff. Devil in Deep Blue Sea, he did on ukulele. And Paul McCartney plays a ukulele now in his concerts as a tribute to George. He does a version of something and he starts it on the ukulele. George Harrison was a big fan of the ukulele, but nothing in the Beatle catalog. Allie's going to a Brimfield fair. Oh, very cool. Who did the video on Brimfields? Maybe it was Annie. She went out there. It does look amazing. I know a lot of people talk about it's supposed to be like the definitive. How would you describe it? Is it like an outdoor, not flea market, but like an outdoor antique market kind of thing? I've just heard about it, but I haven't really seen much. The Weather Channel likes to exaggerate. You don't say. You know why? Because it's for ratings. Yeah, like every hurricane is, going to be the worst ever, and every snowfall is going to be a 6-foot blizzard. And I agree. You're going to try to make a dent in your backstock. That's a good idea. 2,400. It probably should start September off and go. I agree wholeheartedly, Kelly. Did you get through any of those 4,000 cars you picked up? Kim, nope, making the drive from Charleston, South Carolina to a home in New York on Wednesday. Hopefully not doing too much when we get home. Yeah, just resting from the ride, right? That's not that bad, though. Again, I drive to Florida like 20 times a year. So that's not too terrible. There has got to be. I just read that really fast. Moon River. There are so many pieces of sheet music with Moon River. There are so many pieces of sheet music that have like the term moon in it, like moon over Alabama, moon over Mississippi, moon over Kentucky, Blue Moon of Kentucky, of course, very famous song. But those moon songs, my goodness, there's tons of them. It's a huge flea market. Okay, cool, Allie. Hey, Popeye, how you doing? Welcome. Good evening. Yeah, I like that. Kelly gonna hunker down someday. Yeah, I would love to go up there too. For me, it's not that far. I mean, probably 4 hours, maybe I could get there. That sounds like a fun day. You've never seen all of it, really? Okay. Groovy. Yeah, I know. It's for ratings, Memphis, right? I mean, it's like anything else. They hype up stuff and they want ratings. Hi, Popeye. Hi, Jeff. Hi, Steven. Nothing like the ego of the local weather guy when a tornado watch is on. I'll tell you, luckily, I don't have to deal with tornado watches that often. But I'm sure, they exaggerate. Up here, it's snow. It's always like, here we go. We're going to get the big one. And it always amounts to like a dusting. Or it turns to rain, and they'll say, it just missed us. If this storm had moved, 3 miles to the west, we would have been clobbered. Every single time. No, they're still sitting in the bin. Oh, wow. You're trying to get through as much of Popeye's whatnot purchases and local buys before I touch those. You spend a good chunk of change on whatnot. Yeah, you might as well start processing some of your purchases. It wasn't the Moon River. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Laura. There's so many variants on the moon thing in the sheet music, in the old sheet music. It's unbelievable. Hey, Grant, how you doing? Good evening. We now have 2 Canadians in the chat. All as well. 2 Canadians on board to keep us on our toes here. Make sure everybody's, behaving. We had a storm last year. They said we got 6 inches. We have 36. Oh, well, that's the other side of the coin, huh? Yeah, I would imagine in Maine, you must get clobbered. And we're all squirrels out in Colorado. It snows, 10 months a year in Colorado. So do I, truth be told. And I did start the process. I have two from Popeye. I have one from somebody else, which was those clap saddles. But it was only like 10 cards. I listed those really quickly. And then I have 180, I think it was, what I mentioned on Friday, to list. So I have like maybe 200 cards to list, which for me is a ton because I haven't really had any in my life. I'm just starting to get into the postcard thing. I definitely like it though. And I took Kelly's advice from the other night where I am populating a good portion of those recommended specifics, not everyone all the time, but I think he's right. Like just until you get used to it and, the things you can get away with mentioning and not mentioning, I should say. I figure I'll err on the side of caution. I'll look them up one by one and just take my time and learn. It's a new genre for me, so I want to learn it and not just cockily throw stuff up and think, I don't have to put this in, and then wonder why nobody buys my stuff. She was Dawn, and she was in this morning. My goodness, she was in. I don't know, a half hour ago. Said hi. Travis is still in New England. I was gonna say stuck. He's not stuck. He had a vacation planned. He went out there for a day or two. He had a family emergency, so he had to go back home to Colorado. Everything's okay. And then he wound up going back out to New England for vacation. So they're still there. So because of that, I contacted Kristen a couple of days ago. We're going to reschedule for, I don't remember the exact date. September 12th, I think, is the tentative date right now. Something like that. I'll let everybody know. But she will definitely be on with us. I want to make sure, because he had the chance to go out and meet Kristen and a few other people at that meet and greet about a month or two ago, I guess now. I want him to be on to, to add to the interview with Kristen because those guys met and everything. So we'll get her back probably sometime mid-September, Dawn. I am looking forward to that a lot. Primary goal is to list the stuff in your car. Oh my! Do you really keep stuff in your car? You might have a problem when your death pile starts going into outdoor vehicles. Yes. Wonder Mom's still looking into the shipping thing. Oh yeah, you guys are talking about the whole Canadian shipping debacle. Grant, are you experiencing end of the world type of storms like Dawn is? Yep, Dawn is here. All is well. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing this weekend. We're gonna a very rare opportunity to go away for a couple of days together in peace, which would be kind of cool. Look forward to that. We haven't done it in a long time, and I'm psyched for the German food. If anybody knows anything about German food, feel free to contribute your thoughts, what I should get. My only experience with German food is in Epcot, as John knows all too well. One of the pavilions is Germany, and they have a really nice buffet style. It's called the Beer Garden. And it's a buffet-style German fare, and they have like a Oompa Loompa band in there all year round. It's really nice. So based on that, I mean, I know it's a poultry sampling, but it's pretty good. I'm not a big pork guy at all, and I know they live on pork and sausages, so I'm gonna have to look for ways around that and hope that they have a chicken schnitzel, which is like a chicken cutlet, I think. But I'm a big fan of the beer. Obviously, I love pretzels. They have this gigantic pretzel as big as your head, at least on the menu at this place. So I'm psyched about that. Love the Black Forest cake, is it called? I love that stuff. So it's just going to be really exciting. It rained. It was only for an hour. Okay. All is well in Grantland. Good. Hey, Swamp Picker, how you doing? Welcome aboard. We're just kind of chewing the fat tonight. There was no real agenda, just saying hi to everybody. As promised on Mondays, I want to keep to my schedule. Even when my body wants to be in bed, I'm like, no, let's hang out for a little bit, talk, see what comes up. That interesting radio that fell off the truck, that's my my thing to research all day tomorrow, basically. But the debate is, I don't even know if I'm going to list it, honestly. I don't know if it's dangerous to list something like that. Like, it might be, I don't know. It might not even be something that's traditionally for sale. They might have been transporting it to some kind of like cell tower. I don't know. However, with that said, based on those values, I think it warrants spending a little time and looking it up. You weren't a fan of that place? Food was okay? Oh, what? Yeah, it's family style. You have to sit at these long tables in the Beer Garden in Epcot. I liked it. I mean, I think we went 2 or 3 times. The food isn't fantastic. The pretzel bread. If you guys, I don't know if you had the pretzel bread, John. I love that stuff. My God, I could eat that all day. And they for Disney, it was shocking. They give you a big mug of beer. They don't give you. You got to buy it, but you get a nice big mug of beer. But I'm excited. I'm going. You might have missed it, John. I'm going this weekend to Long Island to a friend of my wife, her and her husband invited us out there, so we're going to spend the weekend with them. And they booked a reservation at what's supposed to be this authentic German restaurant. And I've never been to a German restaurant outside of Biergarten and Epcot, so I'm kind of pumped. German Village in Columbus, only 2 hours. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, and I'm a big fan of the culture. I love the especially the Bavarian kind of thing. I love that. That's high on my list. I would love to go out there to the Alps and check out Germany. A guy, a good friend of ours, and he plays in my band often, spends like a month or two a year playing Beatles shows in Germany and Switzerland and Austria. And in fact, he's just getting back now. Finally, he's been off. We haven't played with him since May, so that's how long he was out there. But he always, he sends back all kinds of photos and videos and stuff, and it just makes me want to go even more when I see all the stuff he has to say about it. And he said the food is outrageously good. Yes, that was good. The pretzel bread I could eat all day. Steins of beer and pretzel bread. I mean, do you really need anything else? Wapapakabaka, Ohio. What is that? Wapakanada. Wapakanada? Canada? Potato. Mount Vernon. Grant Williams, let me know if you have any specific questions. Cool. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Welcome. SM Postcards, Mark. Good to see you. Mark, I don't know if you were on Friday. I proudly announced that I am starting to get into postcards. I bought some on Whatnot and started listing them on Saturday. Being a complete novice, it's new, and I'm super slow. I'm looking up everyone, even though I know most of them are probably junk. Not junk, but you know what I mean? Nothing super valuable. But I'm trying to, go back to basics and learn the terminologies and make sure I list things accurately and try to get familiar with the common cars and all that good stuff. So hope you wish me luck, and I hope you're available for any questions I might have. Kelly helped me on Saturday, which was really cool. Your son is in Maryville. Cool. You thought you could leave your CAD shipments for 2-day handling and change international to 4 or 5 days? Oh, talking about the Canadian thing again. I'm sorry, man. I just don't know about that. Dawn talks about the hassles involved with some of the Canadian shipping stuff. I know she has like an arrangement with some kind of shipping company, and she drives to like the border or something. It's got to be crazy. It's got to be really frustrating. It all starts with the first one. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how. You know what? Let me take a look. I'll give you exact numbers. How many postcards do I have listed? Probably like 10. I don't even know. Let me see. But I'll tell you, it was a labor of love. I was getting into it, because it just seems like such a hot thing right now. I'm still amazed that people are that into postcards, but there's no doubt they are. So let me see how many postcards I have listed. As of this moment, I have 91 postcards. What am I talking about? That's right, because I had a bunch of Polish. My wife's grandmother gave us a bunch of Polish postcards. I actually have 91. It's more than I realized. Cool. 91 postcards. But only recently was these new stashes I picked up at Whatnot, like the clap saddle stuff. I think it was like 10 cards. I listed those 10. Let me see recent ones. Bunch of Pennsylvania cards. I think that was from John's lot that I got from him. Pennsylvania ones. I guess, I'm speaking in huge generalities. I realize that, especially in the face of, tremendous postcard ringers in this room right now. But the general thing is that I noticed that generally small towns and stuff do better than New York, big popular cities. The joke with John about Niagara Falls, steer clear of super, Eiffel Tower, things that have 12 billion of them. So I'm looking for these off the beaten path kind of towns when I'm doing my research. I'm assuming that they're going to be more valuable, but I definitely I could see the appeal. There's a lot going on in them, and they're interesting. And I do, being a historian, I love history, just generally speaking, eBay or not. I've always loved history and been fascinated by it. So it's just cool to see these little glimpses into people's lives and all that. I'm very much into that. So I could definitely see myself getting heavily into it. You're a novice postcards as well. Oh wow, that's awesome. See, I like that philosophy. I like the whole go big thing. Just get a big old. That's what I do with my magazines. Just get a bunch. Don't tippy toe around it. Just go in, head first, deep end. Grab yourself a few thousand postcards and just look them up and get into it. Because just like every other genre, I have to learn about the pricing and all that stuff. Cool. Most of the German restaurants you've been to have a sausage sample type plate, 3 to 5 different sausages. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. And this, you can kind of whittle down which ones you like and don't like. It's great because this place that we're going to this weekend, because they gave us the name of the place, it has an online menu. So my wife and I were picking out like what we want to try. It's a pretty extensive menu. And they have a beer garden of sorts out in the parking lot with like lights strung. So you could sit in the restaurant, or you could sit outside the beer garden and just hang out. Hopefully we get some nice weather. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just a whole new palette for me. Yes, I know, Mark. Mark has a great channel. As this Popeye, like I said, I've watched his series many times. I haven't seen it in a while, though. It might be time to... Maybe I should watch both of your... I think I'll watch Mark's... I'll binge, as they say nowadays. I'd like to have it up in parallel. Like I could have a screen with all my pictures up of all the scans of the postcards, and then watch your videos, collect, you and John's videos, and like see if I can look for some items that I might have that match something you're mentioning in the video or something. 91 is good. 92 is better. Okay. Yeah, there's Mark's channel. Go check him out. Yeah, I really doubt that, Mark, but thank you for the confidence. Popeye loves Niagara Falls, yeah. You're just winging it, but you're winging it with lots of stuff, right? So I think it's great. Uh-oh, here we go. No pressure here, guys. Waiting for John or Mark to do an in-depth video series on postcard artists. Interesting. Too much work, too much editing, Mark. But I know John definitely knows who the artists are, because on several listing shows, he said that looks like a, John Smith piece of artwork. So you're probably familiar with them, right? But I understand it's a lot of work. There's probably 1,000 renowned artists too. It's difficult to do a video like that, but watch box. There you go. List them and they will come. I love that. There you go. That's another T-shirt motto I should have. I agree 1,000,000%. Yeah, there you go. How much you paying them? Yeah, without question. Seriously, I'm a big fan of both their channels, and definitely helps you get into it. Anybody that's passionately into anything on YouTube, reselling wise, I really enjoy watching it. Even if it's something I'm personally not into, at least I don't think I'm into. Sometimes they can sway me into getting into it just by their enthusiasm for it. So I think that's kind of cool. We can take bets on how long it would take to devolve into what's yeah. Do an arm wrestling challenge, that's all. Oh, boy. Well, that was a fast hour anyway. I'm proud of myself for making an hour. I am hurting. I opened up the show with I'm hurting, everybody. I'm dying today. Absolutely dying. Got in at 3 a.m. I'm so sore. Getting older, man. It's not fun doing these shows. My God, it's very much. Let me back up. It's wonderful doing the shows. But the travel and the physicality of it and the weather, my God, kills me. It takes me like days to recover now. I actually have a whole week off again, so the whole summer tour thing is starting to wind down. We still have I think 4 or 5 in September, which is cool, but it's not at the pace it's been for the last 2 months or so. We're playing 2-3 shows a week, so I think I need to lick my wounds a little bit and heal because I'm hurting. Did I want to show you guys also the 3 photos, right, of that thing that we're gonna probably sell for $700? That fell off a truck. I wanted to see if I had anything else that I wanted to show everybody. I'm looking at my screen. Oh, I wanted to mention, this is what I wanted to mention. I did pick up what Mark was saying and what Kelly was saying about going big and all that. I did pick up on Friday. I don't think I mentioned this on Friday. Almost 1,000 CDs. So always talking about my CD thing. I love selling CDs. I think they're going to make a comeback and they make a lot of money. Picked up a lot of about 1,000 CDs. Very inexpensively. I have thousands of my own, and that's what I've been selling, but I picked up an actual like seller's lot. They're all decent shape. I haven't gone through all of them, but they look to be fine. And I'll clean them up, or I'll just get a new plastic. Like some of the, you can buy, like let's say your disc comes obviously in a traditional plastic thing. If this is cracked or whatever, you can get empty cases relatively cheap and then just put the artwork in if it's worth it. I have like 2 boxes of them. I think there's like 100 in each box of new cases. So I'll go through it more in depth, but that'll probably be another video. I keep saying it. Go get some CDs. They're dirt cheap. Postcard Summit. There you go. You heard very correctly. Not a cover band. Not a cover band. It's Beatlemania. If anybody remembers, in the late 70s, there was a Broadway play, Beatlemania. It was very popular for a couple of years, and then the Beatles themselves put the kibosh on it, though, because Apple, they were suing them. They didn't like that they were doing reproductions. So anyway, since that time, since like 79 or 80, there have been tours, like Beatlemania tours around the country. And that's what I'm in. I'm in a Beatlemania, like it's a touring road show. Been doing that for like 25 years at this point. And we've been playing up a storm. Do you guys have anyone helping you move equipment? Me at the shows, not often. It depends on the room you play in. There are some, they call them union rooms. There are some places that we play like, there's a convention center that we play in where it's union rules. And like you literally, the second you walk across the entrance, you're not allowed to move any of your own stuff. They come out with all these carts and stuff and they set everything up on the stage. That's the exception though. There's only a few places that we play like that. Most of the stuff we wind up lugging our own stuff. And as much as I complain about how sorry I am, the thought of somebody else touching some of this stuff, I'd probably have a heart attack knowing that somebody's, throwing my guitar case out. I would lose my mind. So as annoying as it is, I actually prefer to bring my own stuff. Off to school pickup. Oh, you too. Take care, Jody. Thanks for coming in. Yes, they are, Dawn. Thank you. You're traveling to Brimfield starting Saturday. Stop being along. I plan to try to fill 2 boxes of select postcards along the way. Who else was? Allie just said she was going. Allie's Closet is also going to Brimfield. I don't know if it was this weekend. Allie, you still there? Maybe you'll see Mark there. 5 states in 10 days. Oh, that's awesome, man. Good video footage, right? You got to get a lot of footage. You have around 30. You listed around 30 last night. Contemporary Christian country. Cool. Good stuff. Yeah, they sell really well. And they're so cheap. Oversharing about his empty boxes. Dawn. That's your favorite thing, selling CDs. Really? No, there actually is money in them, though. It depends on what you how much you got them for, obviously. But they're selling. And I predict they're going to pick up a lot. I think it's one of those things like everything else that as new generations come along, they find it like a novelty and something old-fashioned. So you're going to see an increase in sales. I do have numbers to back up that fact. In this forthcoming video, I've been teasing for like 2 months and still haven't finished. But if you go to Discogs, anybody can look it up. Just look at, they have articles about the sales trends and listing like how many the amount of CDs being listed on their platform over a series of years, amount of sales of CDs, and it's just an upward trend in both of them. Albums are records are so popular again and so incredibly overpriced in a lot of ways. And I'm sure you all remember a few years ago, you couldn't give away records. People were burning them. Like you couldn't get rid of them for free. And now you can't get them for less than $50. Any decent records, good records. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I could. It's probably like a 4-hour ride. No, it's not a control freak. It's more like protective about the instruments and all that stuff. That's all. It's a lot of. I've had one of my guitars, Dawn, is almost as old as you. The one I use every show, and that's not even. It's actually probably older than Kelly, or around Kelly. 91, 92 is Kelly, I think. So, it's just that one of those things. It's been on air. You know what freaks me out when we do? They call them flyouts. When you go on shows and you have to fly, when you get to a venue. We're just flying regular commercial airlines. We bring guitars and stuff, but they have what's called backline, which is like the amplifiers and the PA system and all that is supplied by the venue. Like let's say we were playing in Texas, whatever, right? We're not going to bring our own amps and all that stuff. We just bring our own guitars, basically, and outfits. And this one guitar it's small enough that it actually fits in the overhead, so I don't have to like put it in the baggage. I would have heart failure with that, so I carry mine on. You are staying in Palmer, Massachusetts. Very cool. I don't even know what that is. You sell CDs at the flea market for $1 for 6. Oh man, it's supposedly. Where is? I guess she left. Allie was talking all about it earlier in the show. It's an outdoor flea market, but it's supposed to be on a really big scale. Memphis plays like a gigantic scale, and not only big, but allegedly has some phenomenal items. I've heard about it too from a bunch of people. You sell about 60 a month? Yeah, that's awesome. 2 a day? I wouldn't mind selling every single day. So one little niche like that. Speaking of which, one exciting thing from this weekend is I sold stamps. I told Dawn about this. I had a book of stamps from not a book, a sheet, 25 thing of stamps from Vietnam from 1966, and I think I listed them about 4 years ago. Now I've ended and resold, so that original date isn't on there, but I guarantee it's at least 4 years it's been up there. Finally sold those things over the weekend. I was doing backflips. I sold a couple of things like that I've had up forever that suddenly out of nowhere sold. And it was just so good to sell stamps. I agree, Stephen. Totally. There you go. Very large flea market, like the biggest ever. There's a way to say it. Yeah, no problem. I'm protective of the stuff though, because it's expensive and just like something I'm very close to. Something I've played for so many years. 89. Okay, cool. Brimfield, Massachusetts. No, not close to Memphis. I'm going to go to the Google Maps. Hold on. Brimfield. Where the heck is Brimfield, Massachusetts? I play in Massachusetts constantly. It's central Massachusetts. Oh, it's right near Springfield. Not too far. Holyoke. Oh my goodness. A friend of mine used to have a summer home in Holyoke. We used to go up there all the time. By the Basketball Hall of Fame. Yeah, it's like just over the Connecticut border. It's not far at all. It's in between Springfield and Worcester. Is that how it's pronounced? Worcester. It's like south central Massachusetts. So how far would it be for me to get to this place? I would say 4 hours. But let's use the Google to our advantage. What kind of a ride am I looking at? 4 hours and 41 minutes. So yeah, it's a healthy ride. That's a day well spent though. Go get a room up there. Love to go in the fall when the colors are changing and all that good stuff. Kelly doesn't like people touching his stuff. There you go. That's right. So that's who you sold? Yeah, talk about parallel universes there, huh? Your PA postcard show. Well, let's say, yeah, that's true. I do want to go to that. When was the date of that one? Hold on. I actually saved that on my calendar, but I don't have it handy. York, yeah, postcard. I took note of that when you mentioned that, John. What is that? November 18th, right? Maybe I could go to both. Oh, the stamp thing, Stephen. If you fancy yourself a stamp guy, then you know a lot more than me. It's frustrating as all heck because I used to always say there's so many gotchas with stamps. You think you have this winner, and then we got all we didn't get all of them. We acquired PDF versions of several of the pricing guides for stamps. And we really only the Scott's guides, and we just use them for identification. The value is pretty much irrelevant in the books. The value is probably what you would get for on eBay. I would probably do a search on eBay or Hip Stamp. I was into Hip Stamp for a while, but I wound up bailing on Hip, unfortunately. I wanted to like them, but I think we discussed that. They just don't have a lot of traction. A lot of people going to those websites, so I bailed. I had a Hip postcard and I had a Hip, and I didn't use Hip postcard for postcards. I used Hip postcard for my ads, and I was able to pour it in like I tried to bring in a bunch of them. There were kind of like technical problems, and they couldn't figure them out. So Unfortunately, I bailed on that. But yeah, stamps are frustrating to me. I like them, but as I said, I think there's so many gotchas. You think you have, if there's one perforation that's off the littlest bit, well, instead of being $1,000, now it's worth 17 cents. Very, very frustrating. But if people thrive on tedious activity, then stamp collecting is for you. You stop it along the way. That's cool. Yeah, you make a whole trip of it. Steven is a stamp guy. Beautiful. Worcester, is that how it's pronounced? Okay, cool. Thank you. 13 hours for you. Yeah, that's right. You're in Chicago. Worcestershire sauce. I put on steak. Weekend before Thanksgiving. That's an awesome time to go. Oh, 5th. Hold on. Going to the calendar again. That's right. We have blocked the 5th through the 9th, which is a Wednesday through a Sunday. Well, we would leave on the 10th, but the last park day would be the 9th of October. Value is always exaggerated. Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I don't even really look at the value, other than obviously if something jumps off the page. I'm not saying it's an accurate value for today necessarily, but at least it shows me there's potential value in it. Oh man, you on the 15th? It's not in stone yet, John. We actually didn't book anything yet. We're waiting. We're taking 2 of my girls. My 2 youngest daughters are coming with us, and actually, I was waiting for them to get back to me with dates when they could take off for their jobs. But that's what we had tentatively. We penciled in those dates I gave you, 5th to the 9th or something like that, 5th to the 10th. Yeah, it really would be cool to hang out. We'll see. Maybe, it's only, a week later? I'm going to have to check in because suddenly that's less than 2 months away. Man, that's crazy. When we first started talking about this, it was in October. That's so far away. Maybe we'll all go sit down and break bread in Germany. I know what you're saying, though. In Disney, they have a thing called family-style dining, and in Biergarten and Epcot in Germany, it's basically like you're sitting. You're supposed to be sitting in an outdoor Bavarian Biergarten in the fall. It's always fall. They have trees, and it's always fall. And like I said, they have this band in the front with the traditional German garb, and they're playing dump, 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 all that kind of stuff. But you have to sit with strangers. It's just these giant, almost like being in 5th grade at lunch, and they have those long tables, and all the kids sit together. It's the same thing. So you wind up sort of being forced with other people, unless you have a very big party of your own. Then you can kind of get a little bit of privacy. But I can see why that would not appeal to some people. Video of the 2 of you in Dumbo ride with me. No, we'll see. Like I said, my dates aren't in stone. That's what my wife said, and we're waiting for confirmation from my 2 little girls. Say, yes, Daddy, we are available. Well, shoot, hubby home with groceries. Oh, okay, no problem, Susan. We're just kind of chatting tonight, so great to have you. No, it might even still be this time. Don't never say never, man. You're in stone though. 15th to what? 15th to 20 something. All right. Might be able to change mine up. Where are you staying, Popeye? What resort? There she is. There's Kristen's back. A little squirrel ears were burning or ringing. Or maybe ringing and burning. Yeah, that's my newest venture is the postcard thing. It's exciting to have something inspired by all of you who come into the chat all the time and love the postcards. So how can I not get into it? They clearly sell, even though they're long tail, but they definitely sell and they're definitely popular. Speaking of which, here's Puddings. How you doing? We have 10 postcard gurus in this room at any given time. Kind of peer pressure got me into it. I'm like, I got to get into this. Congratulations, Puddings. Cool. And I sold 2 postcards over the weekend. I'm doing backflips because I know nothing about them. So congratulations, Puddings. That's cool. You've been in Stone for 8 months? Oh, I didn't realize you had the whole thing. Animal Kingdom, there you go. Beach Club is my favorite. Well, I say that. Beach Club is our favorite family. Like when I bring the kids and everything, I love the Beach Club because of its proximity to Epcot, obviously. And that, but I like Grand Floridian too. I like them all, let's be honest. Daughter is bringing a friend. One of the last trips we had, one of my daughters brought a friend as well, so we had to accommodate her. Yeah, don't get into it. Whatever you do, they want to carve up the empire themselves, folks. You hear that? Definitely not a guru. That's okay. You're a ringer in this category. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. Yeah, just as basic as you could possibly be. Trust me. But I like the topic. I like learning about new things, so I'm gonna get into it. I have a fistful of cards to get up and take a look at. You have a DVC, we book out as far as we can guarantee. Too expensive to pay. Oh, rack rate is never an option, Popeye. Having worked there, you never pay rack rate ever. But even these, supposed discounts are still obscene. The prices are just so ridiculous. We're going to get you selling postcards, then we're going to switch to print. Yeah, no, I'm already in. I'm not, not making a dent, obviously, in the market share, but I'm starting to get into it. I really enjoy them, Stephen. And I hope you guys all get into the print ads. I hope I've exposed the fact that it's a market that a lot of people, I cannot tell you how many people have said, either written to me or in these chats, oh my God, I never knew about this. I never thought about that. And that's cool. That was kind of my goal, was to just expose everybody to the possibility. That's all. Yeah, we just said no rack rate. If it goes through the scanner, there you go. And then they all go through the scanner. Yes, 400, baby. Hey, Treasure Maze, how are you? Welcome. Do you sell postcards, Treasure Maze? Apparently everybody does. I'm about 10 years late to the game. If you sell my one, I'll sell you my 1.4 million cards at 10 cents. There you go. There you go. That's a deal. I'm not a mathematician, but let's see. 140 grand? Hope you have change. No, but seriously, it's fun. I like it. It's interesting. And I do see parallels with the print ad thing, which I really love. So I'm going to give it it's fun. It's a lot of fun. That's a good approach, Lloyd. Just dabble a little bit in everything. Sure. You went to buy a local hotspot and endless supply of old magazines with ads. Yeah, you were telling me about that. Yeah, grab them. What were they, $1? I think you said they were like $1 each or something. You see that a lot. You see that a lot in, at least I do, the antique balls by me. I'll see print ads all the time, like you just described, like framed in like a paper frame or boarded like that, and they sell them for like $4 or $5 a piece in the one that I go to, and I just shake my head because I know again I can get a whole magazine for 50 cents or $1 at the most. Small bills, okay, no problem. How about quarters? That would add up. $1 each, yeah, I think that's what you had said. That's awesome. It's still a good deal, because you'll make 10 to 15 to 20 times your money, right? Yeah, 100's probably small for him. He's right though. I'm gonna go check out that. It's in November, York, PA. Again, a buddy of mine, that one of the guys that plays in my band, lives in Lidditz, which is right near York. When you're done with postcards, I wonder if someone would buy my whole store. When the store would be at least 35 years on eBay. Oh my God. Yeah. It's food for thought. Mm-mm-mm. You know, all jokes aside, you can't. You can't transfer ownership. I think you can transfer ownership of a store. The physical merchandise would obviously have to be brought over or picked up. But what if you could just like take over a store instead of starting from scratch and trying to list a million postcards? Yeah, right. They'll be gone on Whatnot. You'll sell all of them on Whatnot anyway. You'll have nothing left the way things are going. Beer and a pizza. There you go. How about schnitzel? That's what I'm going to try this weekend. Can't wait. German, baby. I'd have to sell a few more. Yeah. A couple more World War II ads. We'll get right up there. I'll get that 100 grand. A bonfire. Hey, Tracy, how you doing? You driving? Be careful. Drive. Both hands on the wheel. Tracy dangerously close to finishing her legendary Bond. Can't wait to see that. Tracy should have enough footage to make about 500 videos at this point, I'm thinking, on YouTube when the smoke clears. She's going to have lots of footage. Oh, you know what? I want to mention this too. Didn't even realize it, but I'm going to pull up my thing quickly. Friday was the chat show, was my 100th video on YouTube. Thought that was kind of cool. And of the 100, I think 50 alive. It was my 50th live show. Shocking. A lot of fun. If I get 2 a week, adds up fast. Yeah, thank you. But 50 of them alive at live shows, so it's really only 50 videos, I think. But still, that's something. They're all little landmarks, right? Netflix will be calling soon. There you go. Pudding's found a stash of World War II magazines. Yes, 20 magazines, almost all pages of full-page military equipment ads. Paid $5 at a flea market. $5 for all of them, or $5 per magazine? That's outstanding work, Puddings. Did you watch the listing show Friday? The last 2 Fridays we've been listing exclusively World War II ads. Congratulations. If that's to me, thank you very much, Tracy. If that's to Puddings for this killer deal, congratulations. Killer deal. Speaking of deer, my God, driving home last night from extreme southeast tip of New Jersey to my house, you drive through this Pine Barrens area. It's all just swampland and foresty area in South Jersey. There had to be, it's like one of the main highways I take for like 50 miles of this journey is a 1-lane each way road, which is, it's like driving through North Carolina. It's just all trees, 1-way road. I must have passed, no exaggeration, 100 deer on this ride home. I was white knuckling it the whole way. Like they were just right on the edge, 1, 2 in the morning, foggy. Oh my God. I had the displeasure of hitting a deer one time in my life on a ride to Florida, actually, in South Carolina. Middle of the night, my poor wife was scared to death. We hit it, and thank God, I mean, I had a nice big Jeep, so like it didn't even make a mark on the Jeep. It broke my my headlight. The plastic covering on the headlight broke. That was the only damage. And this poor deer, like, we were flying. We were going like 80 miles an hour on 95, you know? And I think I think it was a girl. She came across from the left side. And you ever see how they jump like a Santa's reindeer? Jumped and just like her back hip just barely hit the car. And I saw her like kind of run into the woods. I really hope she didn't die. Probably silly to assume she didn't, but I did see my life flash before me because like they just come out of nowhere and I'm like, oh my God. And then, I remember my dad saying years ago, as your tendency, of course, is to swerve or whatever. But if you're going that fast on a highway at 2 in the morning, you're going to swerve and kill yourself, go right off the road. And I remember my father saying, if it ever happens, just hit it. Just hit it. I know it stinks, but just hit it. And I did that. I just like held the wheel and I'm like, oh, I grimaced a minute and closed my eyes and I heard boom. And then I looked over and I saw her run into the thing. But all these years of driving and all these millions of miles I've driven and 38 years of driving or whatever it is, I've only hit one deer. I never want to hit one again. It was a terrible ride. 5 for all. My God. You were looking for a classical guitar. Beautiful. That's another topic I could talk about all night is guitars. $5 for how many magazines? 100 magazines? Oh, no, 20 magazines. Gotcha. That's great work, Puddings. Congratulations. Jersey Beast, Jersey Devil, gangster bodies. Here where I live, hit a deer, feed a villa. That's hysterical. You have 11 deer in your back. Is it like deer wandering season? I don't know. My wife used to tell me about that. There's like certain times of the year where they kind of come out in the woods. I don't know if they're breeding or whatever they're doing, but man. 100th video. Yeah, there you go. Antique. Yeah, where's my little badge? And I just looked. It's funny because I was looking this morning at some other stuff, comments, right? You go on the screen, you look at your comments, and that's where I saw it said total video is 100. I'm like, oh man, I hit 100. And then I inspired by that. I'm like, I had playlists. I'm like, of course, like most of my playlists are like 8 videos, 6 videos. And then I saw 50. So 50 with live shows between the chat and the listings. This is 51, baby. They like your apple trees. Cool. You have loud cricket behind my fish tanks again. If I find him fish food, he is. There you go. Less than a penny an ad. There you go. Exactly. Exactly. So you're printing money. At certain points, you're printing money. Deer wandering season. I don't know what it's called, Dawn. They stay in one spot the rest of the year. That's right. They only move. Notoriously, the end of August is their one little time of year where they migrate. Magazines in South Carolina. Are they really? Where are you looking? I think, again, for me, if you look at the videos here as I did, we find them mostly in estate sales, without question. That's where I go. I wouldn't go to an antique mall, even though Kelly made out well. Like $1 an ad to me, you could get them for a penny an ad or a nickel ad. But it's still not bad if you just want to pick up some ads. You know you're going to make 10, 15-fold what you invest, which is totally cool. But estate sales for me personally. So Treasure Me's, I don't know if you hit estate sales wherever you live. That's what we find ours a lot. And I don't exaggerate when I say they almost give them away, because most people at an estate sale, paper in general, ephemera in general, is almost given away and looked over by most people that go into estate sales. So check those. If you haven't had a chance, check out an estate sale. A few months ago, you got caught up watching a deer feeding channel. There you go. Kelly. They have those. I've seen those too, actually, John. It might even be in Maine. Like, my wife loves the Earth Cam kind of stuff, where they just Earth Cam is like different cities or whatever and famous places in the world, but it's kind of the same thing. Yeah, they have like a camera focused on deer, or there's another cool one in Africa, like some wild preserve in Africa or something. You could see like wild elephants and giraffe and all. That's kind of cool. Will they catch the wild pigs in the cafe? The cage. Oh, there you go. So that was a little food joke. You were driving a country road at night and hit a cow. Oh my God. Yeah, revenge, right? A cow's got to be like an 800-pound creature, I'm thinking. It's like hitting a tree, right? Man. Brownsville Food Pantry for deer. There you go. There's must-see TV. Dawn, where's the link? Brownsville Food Pantry for deer. Cara giant meat tenderizer. Oh my God. I've never heard of anybody hitting a cow. That's not funny. I mean, you could have been really, really hurt. So hopefully you aren't. You could always get a new car, right? Mean Ones will post videos or links to their camps to watch, for kids to watch. Cool. Bird feeder in South Africa. Oh, yeah? Pandas in China. There was a giraffe. I mentioned giraffes. Was it a year or two ago? My wife got me into this, and it's one of those things when you start watching it, it sounds so stupid at first, and then you find yourself constantly tuning in. There was a giraffe. Anybody see this? That was going to give birth. It was like the birth cam or something for days and days and days. Everybody's watching. They had like 1 million, no exaggeration, 1 million people watching when you would chime in, because they post like I have that banner at the bottom. It would be like, Belly, whatever her name was, Belle the giraffe is due to give birth any hour now, and 1 million people are watching to watch a giraffe be born. And of course, with all the ridiculous amount of hours I had that stupid screen up, I didn't actually get to see the giraffe live, born live. I watched the replay. But it's funny how you get sucked into these silly things. What was it, April? There you go. Brownsville Food Pantry for deer. You watched the replay, yeah. My wife got me into that. We wound up watching. It was like a year ago, right? Maybe a little longer. I don't remember exactly when it was, but it was on for a while. Then there was here's another one. You guys ever see the eagle, the bald eagle cam? It was like an eagle or two eagles. They had a camera. It was unbelievable. They had I don't remember where it was, but they had a camera in a nest, like up in a mountain. You know, I don't know how they hid it somehow. The eagles didn't notice, and it was like the mother and the father eagle would come, and it was the eggs, like the hatch cam or whatever they called it. It was actually really sad because the one or two of the eggs never hatched or something. They said that happens in the wild. So, like, again, all this hype, and you're waiting for this little baby eagle to come out. Of course, the eagle never comes out. Anybody remember Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? I used to watch that show Sunday nights, right before the Wonderful World of Disney. I know there's some people, Popeye's in the wheelhouse. I'm sure he remembers that. I'm sure Dawn doesn't. I'm sure Lori does. Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Sunday nights. Maybe they have the only deer cams up in the winter. Yeah. Eagles up in Lake Erie in Ohio. Cool. You remember that Mutual of Omaha? Yeah, Marlon Perkins, yep. Like an old, he probably wasn't that old. We thought he was an old man with the white mustache. We sent Bob out to da-da-da-da-da. I used to love that show. And then it was the Wonderful World of Disney. Mutual of Omaha's Wild. Watching an Alaska video today. Bears. Oh, that's on all the time. I think that's a replay, though, Lori. We watch that all the time with the salmon jumping out of the water, going up they swim upstream. Is that the video you saw? And the bears all sit there. And the fish literally jump out of the water into their mouths. Every Sunday. Remember, Tracy? Sure? You've been to the house of one of the people that wrote scripts for that show? Really? Very cool. Oh, Jacques Cousteau is awesome. Yeah, he was the water equivalent. Yep. I hate to even mention this, to bring up the name, but John Denver, everybody, John Denver, say what you want. There's a wonderful song about Jacques Cousteau. Does anybody know what it's called? For 500,000 of Popeye's postcards? What's the song that John Denver wrote as a tribute to Jacques Cousteau? When you're a kid, everybody is old. Yeah, no, he probably was an older guy, but he looked like an old man, right? He had the white hair and the white mustache. Marlon Perkins, what happened to him? We have a lot of camera streams for birds. Puffin seals. Ah, cool. Sure. You were in church service in boot camp. Church will clean the barracks in case. When he announced he died? Oh, man, see, I'm sure he's dead, but I had no idea when he died. When did he die? Yeah, says Lori. Calypso. There you go. Ding, 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 ding. That's actually a beautiful song. Do, 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 do. Beautiful song. June 14th of 86. Okay. Calypso. Tracy, remember the song Calypso, John Denver? It's a really good song. Jacques Cousteau is the next generation. Yeah, exactly. Sort of. Except he always sent somebody else to do his bidding, right? He was always like riding in the Jeep and telling about so-and-so, and then so-and-so was out there wrestling alligators, and the Steve Irvin guy was out there wrestling, and while Merlin was sitting comfortably in the Jeep. That's what I seem to recall. The Wonderful World of Disney after that. Tinkerbell flying over the thing. I used to scream, like all excited. And amazing memories, man. My mother used to make Jiffy Pop popcorn. It was like a fun thing. And like homemade ice cream shakes, and we'd sit on the floor. Wonderful World of Disney and Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Sunday nights. The best part of Sunday, when you were mad you had to go to school the next day, was watching those two shows. Cousteau people, absolutely. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, right. He sent others to do his bidding. Was he? He must have been pretty old. Just getting ready to say Jiffy Pop. Get out of here, really? Yeah, same thing. that hysterical? I don't know why. I don't know why there's a correlation there. But Sunday night, my mother would make Jiffy Pop. We used to have these 70s folks. So we used to have these gigantic like throw pillow things that we would put on the floor, and we just had the big like furniture television in the living room. The color TV was in the living room. I had a black and white TV in my room, but the color TV was in the living room, and we would get all cuddled up. It was just me and my sister, and throw out the big old pillow. And here would come Mom with the Jiffy Pop popcorn. It's just like the greatest thing in the world. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Yeah, he did, didn't he? He did like a skit on that. Actually, you're right. Beanbag. Yeah, but beanbag chests. Right, just big things you throw on the floor. Get out of here! Really? Sunday night? Yeah, that was it. Growing up. Yep. I wasn't really growing up. I was when I was like 10 or 12, but yeah, maybe even younger. But I got another crazy. See, you knew the show was always going to devolve to this point. How about what was the guy that lived in Montana? Grizzly Adams. Remember the Grizzly Adams show? Always wanted to go to Montana because I used to like Grizzly Adams. Big burly guy with a beard. Dan Haggerty, I think is his name. Homemade pizza on Saturday. There you go. Yeah, hee-haw, sure. Absolutely. Yeah, it was easy to burn, Dawn. But Mom had her way with the stuff. Just the right combination of flame and shaking. Flawless all the time. Flawless popcorn. I can't believe everybody had. I always thought we were the only ones that did that. That's hysterical. There's 2 other people that did the exact same thing. Grizzly Adams, I'm telling you, man, great show, right? I used to love that, and I always wanted to go to Montana. It was in Montana. My God. Dan Haggerty, right? Is he still alive? What's Dan Haggerty doing? He fell off the earth. Lawrence Welk, sure. Right, yeah, we didn't have, and where I grew up, we didn't get cable until 84 or something, like years late. I was already like, grown, high school, but in Jersey, my cousins who lived they were only like 20 miles away from my house, but it was a different state, and they had cable from, I guess, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 years before that. But I remember, like, I never watched cable as a kid because we didn't have it. By the time cable came out, I was already like a teenager and didn't care about television much anymore. Love Grizzly Adams, absolutely. Don't use a Canadian blowtorch. Oh, man. Grizzly Adams, a great show. Yeah, the bear, sure. Always wanted to run away and live. Instead, you're knee deep in postcards in Maryland. Quite a difference, huh? Man, Grizzly, that was a great show. That's a show that, like, the only time I've ever seen it was when it was on. Has anybody ever seen a rerun of Grizzly Adams? Has it ever even been in reruns? But man, I probably, it's one of those things I'm afraid almost to watch now, because I might watch this and say, this is garbage. Why did I like this? Yeah, John, I mean, say what you want. At the time, he was kind of ripped on, but in retrospect, some of the songs are actually really nice. I wasn't a big fan then, but I love that song. The song by Jacques Cousteau I thought was awesome. Calypso. Even if we didn't have hee-haw, we wouldn't have dad jokes. Yeah, hee-haw was good. And from a musician standpoint, Roy Clark was one heck of a musician. Multiple instruments, played the heck out of the guitar. Glenn Campbell, I have a lot of respect for Glenn Campbell. If anybody doesn't know, in fact, it's funny, outside of the Beatle thing, we're about to start up like I don't even know what you would say. It's just like, this is going to be like a bar band kind of thing, like just hanging out to fill gaps when we're not doing Beatles shows. But we're doing like 60s, 70s music, I think. And one of the songs was Southern Nights by Glenn Campbell. Everybody remember that song, Southern Nights? I always loved the song. Never played it before, but we're learning it. And Glenn Campbell, man, he is one of the best guitar players I've ever heard in my life. Lightning fast guitar player. YouTube, what, for the show? I've never seen a rerun ever in my life. With your hair falling out, you go into the mountains with the monks making wine. The book Gentleman. Yep. There you go. Sure. Yeah, I don't know. Have you ever seen? I've seriously never watched a rerun of that. Country Roads. There you go. Sure. Sing it, Dawn. West Ontario. You had a man who had a bear outside the town you grew up in. They called him Wild Bill Adams. He used to wrestle a bear. Interesting. Wonder if there's any postcards of Wild Bill. First time your hubby heard me sing, it was Follow Me to Friends. But oh, really? The book. So remember the TV show with Sean Cassidy, right, Tracy? My sister, who's I think your age, a couple years younger than me, she loved Sean Cassidy. To do Run, 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 to do Run, Run. Keith's younger brother. Keith Partridge's younger brother. Your dad loved the. I didn't. We watched it, but I don't know. Like, I don't remember all the. I know Minnie Pearl, right? The hat with the tags on it. Roy Clark. I don't remember that there was a grandpa, but I don't remember the character names. You're 549, Steve. You're talking about the TV show or the book series? Because there was a show on for a little while, remember? With Sean Cassidy and I forgot the other guy's name. $500 Hardy Boy books. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're talking about they might be talking about the TV show that was on for a couple of years, around that, like, late 70s, 77, 78. Used to read those, Tracy, Tom Swift and Doc Savage. Yeah, so they're talking about the books. I don't know if you guys are talking about the show. Yeah, the girl that was, I think she was in Dynasty. Yeah, I don't know her name. But I know who you're talking about. I'm trying to think, what else haven't we talked about in that realm? Do you guys remember? I'm sure everybody does. Most people do. Do you remember, what were the big miniseries? Roots, of course. I remember when Roots was on, we had it all in school. I was in, I don't know, what year was that, 77? I was like in 5th grade, I think. And we had to do a report. We had to watch Roots as like a social studies project and then do like a book report every morning about the previous night's episode of Roots. So I don't have good memories of Roots because it was like work. You know, we had to do a book report about it. And then there was the one with, that was a huge one. There was another really big miniseries. Rich Man, Poor Man was a big one. Remember those miniseries that used to be on for like a week? Pamela Sue Martin, is that her? Jabberjaw, yeah. Sure. Parker Stevenson, yeah, there you go, sure. Yeah, Sean Cassidy. Oh, boy. I'm waiting for somebody else to throw something out to the chat. Something else that we're all going to go, oh, my God, remember that? Growing up in Alabama, Roops was definitely not required. Yeah, I would imagine. It was. I don't know why we had to. I'll never forget that. We had to do a book report about it every day. I'm like, what? My name is Toby. Hardy Boy's LP album. Oh, wow, that's cool. The show wasn't on very long, though, right, Tracy? It was only like a year or two, maybe. I remember my sister loved that. She used to watch it all the time. I love $6 Million Man. That was like my big show of the time. One of my favorite, we probably mentioned this in our toy section of these chat shows, but one of my favorite toys of all time was the $6 Million Man doll, who had, you could look through his eye, and he had a bionic eye. It was like a little magnifying thing. And he had his arm, if you rolled up, he had like fake skin, and if you rolled up his arm, he had like this weird bionic module thing in it. And he came in a spaceship. It was supposed to be his rocket. And, you know, you're supposed to simulate his crash. In the beginning of the show, he was in a rocket crash. And when you opened up the rocket, it went like this, and it had these little legs, and it became like an operating table. So you could make him you could turn Steve Austin into the Bionic Man. I lost my mind over that stupid toy. I remember whenever that Christmas was that it came out, Lost my mind. Like, had to have that, and it was under the tree that year, thank God. But that was ridiculous. I don't think I've ever been that infatuated by any other toy in my life. For whatever reason, that one just hit a nerve. It was like prime, I was just poised at that time. I loved the show, and they had the commercial for that doll. I would lose my mind. God, do I wish I had that. What would that, like, 1976, 75, 76 Bionic Man doll? What is that worth now? Yes, Lindsay Wagner, Bionic Woman. Yeah, her dog. And then they had a Bigfoot doll. You could battle $6 million man versus Bigfoot. So I had the Bigfoot doll, and I'd make them wrestle on the bed or whatever. Oh my God. Oh, really? I had no idea there was a new one. Jamie Summers, yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, Donnie Marie, absolutely. Friday nights. I remember, I'm sure some of us remember the Sonny and Cher. My parents, we always watched Sonny and Cher when I was little. And Donnie Marie was a few years later, but they were younger, so they were like kids our age loved Donnie Marie, and the parents loved Sonny and Cher. Like, I remember that was like always a thing. And I think they actually appeared. Sonny and Cher were on the Donnie Marie show one time. It was like the young version of the Sonny and Cher show. Just as silly, but yeah, Donnie Marie was mandatory. I have not. Has anybody ever seen that one? The slow mo, right? Sure. Or I would take a rock and throw it and go. I was going to use the term action figure. I know. Let's be honest, it was a doll. But it actually was very much an action figure, too. My favorite action figures as a child would be $6 Million Man, top of the list. I had the Planet of the Apes play set. Like, it was like the movie, Planet of the Apes, the 60s movies, early 70s movies. The Planet of the Apes, like, play set. It had, like, a mountain. I forgot. Remember they had, like, that cave? Or I forgot what it was. The professor guy or something. Anyway, I had a bunch of them. It was awesome. The doll, the action figures, Planet of the Apes, Star Trek. I had the bridge. It was that, again, that thing I'm sure is worth a fortune. I had all the Star Trek guys, right? And they had a little, they had a belt, and they had the phaser, and it was like a little blue plastic phaser. But I had the bridge. It was the bridge of the Starship Enterprise. So you had like Kirk in his chair, and it had like all this electronic looking stuff in the back. And the coolest thing of all time was you could put Kirk in the transporter. It was like an actual box, and it had like two buttons at the top, and you hit the button at the top, and it would spin really fast, and it had this like color on it that it made it look like he was being beamed down to a planet. Oh my God. Those are my three greatest toys of all time. I would love to know what that was worth. Tommy Kirk just died. Yeah, Star Wars. That was 77, right? I don't remember getting Star Wars toys. I had I don't really know Star Wars that well. The Land Cruiser thing, that little brown, like, it was a flat brown car thing. It was like a hovercraft car with like a jet in the back. I had that, I remember. I don't remember what it's called. I didn't get like a ton of Star Wars stuff. I love Star Trek, the first Star Trek, the real Star Trek. Then we were old enough to buy firecrackers of Star Wars stuff. What did I put? We used to put firecrackers in something too. Oh my God. Oh, this is a terrible. This is any animal lovers. I not really. Any insect lovers should mute this section. We used to put firecrackers. What year was this? 78 or 79. So I'm a little older now, and had access to firecrackers. The cicadas would come out like every 17 years or something like that in New York. There was these things, the cicadas would come out. It was the first time I remember seeing them, right? These horrible, weird little bugs. Well, we used to put, it's disgusting to say, but we used to put firecrackers under them and blow them up because it was a swarm, like my entire block. They were on the cars, they were in the trees. They made this hideous sound, and we used to be outside playing ball or doing whatever we were doing all the time. And I remember one of my friends got firecrackers. We used to light firecrackers and blow up like 100 cicadas. Just saying. Land speeder, is that what it's called, Mark? Okay, yeah, a little brown, weird, flat car thing. I had that. Firecrackers and anthills. There you go. So more insecticide. Yeah, poor Dawn. She's out of this. She was a kid 10 years ago. Nothing wrong with being nerdy. It's fun stuff. It's not really nerdy. It's just fun. Childhood fun. Anthills, yeah. Love Legos too. Lincoln Logs, of course, but Legos are cool. Oh, no. Did he smash them all? We used to have, yeah, we had cars too, but we like I'm sure all of it, we played with them. We never thought, oh, put them in a case for 30 years and they'll be worth money. No, we played with them. Same thing with baseball cards, truth be told. All this popularity, and for me, it was all 70s, was when I was growing up, really, like collecting cards and stuff. We used to play with our baseball cards. We used to trade them. We used to have the game where you flipped them, like colors on one side or something, and we would trade them back and forth and trash them. And now, again, in retrospect, if I had ever dreamed at that age I'm going to put all these cards into a nice, neat book and keep them for eternity, I probably would be a millionaire at this point. Between those toys, used to build Lego planes and strap the bigger bottle rockets. Little green. Oh, the legendary Weebles Wobble. They might have even fallen down. You just again reminded me of something. The Army men, I'll never forget this. Probably almost burnt my house down about 5 times. My sister got into my little green Army men, and she used to put them on a light bulb. Picture like a little lamp with a light bulb. She would put like their feet on the the flat thing. They didn't even have feet. They had like that flat thing where they could stay poised in any position. Well, anyway, she put it on the light bulb, and it melted the plastic, and you would smell. What's that smell? Nothing. Green slime all over the light bulb. My sister burning my Army guys. Yeah, I used to like Battlestar Galactica. That was cool. Yes, very much. Toys were made to destroy and play with, right? Not put in shiny boxes and keep forever. Oh, look at Dawn. Apollo and Battlestar Galactica. What's his name was on that? The guy from Bonanza. Oh my God, these names escape me. Legendary actor from Bonanza. What's his name? He was in Battlestar Galactica. The white hair and the giant sideburns. Can't think of his name. Matchboxes went into Dad's huge bike. Shop Vice. Oh my God, the car crusher. There you go, sure. No, you played with them, right? I mean, played / destroyed, but that was the fun. They weren't meant to be preserved at the time, anyway. Oh, I called all your comic books. Hey, Bottomania, you were just in time to discuss toys you used to play with and destroy. Hey, no problem. Thanks for coming in, Mark. Yeah, that's seriously, that's actually very true. Yeah, what's going on with that? Canadian, too. Canadian shoes. I feel bad, but it's because I don't think she remembers any of this stuff. Lorne Green, there you go. My God, why could I not think of his name? Thank you, Lord. Lorne Green, yeah, Lorne Green, yes. Thank you. Hey, Rootin, what's going on? Chiming in. Not Lauren, no. Cards with the closed mega. Oh yeah, of course, yeah, the flickering sound, sure, absolutely. We used to build ramps for bikes later on. We had like Huffies and stuff. I was like in, I don't know, 8th grade, 9th grade. We used to build these wooden ramps and jump over. We used to take garbage can like lids and lay them out. A la, what's his name? A la Evel Knievel. So we would get a bike and you try to like jump over one garbage can, and then we put 2. The Huffies. That was a big thing, man. You had to have the cool bikes. You broke your talking G.I. Joe in half with a rock and asked my dad if he could fix it. He said Joe had a 50-50 chance. Talk to me, Joe. Blow stuff up, huh? Yeah, I didn't have a lot of access to fireworks except for the cicada incident. I don't even know how we got fireworks. One of my friends got them. The little individual, like just your firecracker. Yeah, Bonanza. That's what I was saying. They got the famous guy from Bonanza. Are you near Tahoe? Alpo, right? Exactly. Remember the Chuck Wagon commercial with the guy from Disney that did the Winnie the Pooh voice? The weird, like, I used to love that commercial. The Chuck Wagon commercial where they had like the claymation, dun, 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 and they would come running out of the wall or something. Oh my God. Anybody remember that? You guys will remember. That's true. And Dawn's going to be taking care of all of us. Senility. I know. I'm saying all this stuff we're enjoying and that she has no, and Kelly, they're going to be the ones that are taking care of us in old age. I joke about that because my wife's 9 years younger, so I'm always like, one day, and it's coming way too soon, she's going to be the one having to wheel me around and stuff. It's not cool. Not cool at all. Already started. There you go. I'm still part of that generation when you could be out all day at home for dinner. My mom was a single parent and couldn't stand us being that. Oh, yeah, we lived. Again, it was a punishment. To have to come inside was devastating. We spent as little time inside as humanly possible. All year round, too. Nothing worse than a snowstorm. You just want to go out and play in the snow. We used to go sleigh riding, and I lived at the bottom of a hill. It wasn't really that big of a hill, but it was a perfect hill for sleigh riding. But the problem is it was a street, so like you still had cars trying to come up, and it was awful. And then they would ruin it. But the car would ruin the snow. Makes its own gravy, yeah, Chuck Wagon, sure. Here versus how it does change a lot. Oh my God, seriously? Yeah, that's not something to joke about, man. That's devastating. My dad, unfortunately, has a touch of, I don't know if it's Alzheimer's. It's a, you don't get blood work and they say you have Alzheimer's. It's a series of symptoms that they just come up with a term. But he's got Parkinson's, which is also not something you get with a blood test, but there's like onset of Parkinson's and definitely some Alzheimer's type stuff, senility, whatever you want to call it. And it's not cool. It's not fun. And the hard thing about that, it's not so much the person. The person is sort of unaware. I mean, the frustrating thing when you first get it is you are keenly aware that I can't think. Like me, Warren Green, what's his name? That's this much of that feeling. Imagine like not being able to say a car. You know what I mean? Stupid things like that. Like forgetting people that you've known your whole life. It's frustrating for the person when they're first experiencing it. But unfortunately, I lost my grandfather on my mom's side died of Parkinson's. But he was 96 years old, but he had it for like 10 years. I remember, and it was devastating, so all of us that loved him, because again, he's not really affected after that certain point when you're frustrated and it really kind of sinks in and you're just kind of lost a little bit. The person is not really aware of the fact that they're not remembering anymore because they don't remember. Does that make any sense? But for the family, it's devastating. When I went up to my grandfather, one of the last times I saw him, he lived in Florida, and I'm his namesake and everything. We were close as can be forever, and went there, and he literally had no idea who I was. It was like I had to like smile, and I left the room, and I was bawling like a 3-year-old. I was crying so bad in the bathroom because I just couldn't believe. We went down, hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and they said, don't be surprised if Grandpa doesn't know who you are. I'm like, come on, what are you kidding me? He's gonna know me, and nope, didn't know me from a hole in the wall. It was really devastating. Sorry to bring it all down, but anyway, that's. Yeah, I should be fine. That's true. Speaking of 23 kids, hit that like button, will you? If you're enjoying Steve Austin, Battlestar Galactica, and I was going to say Merlin, what's his name? Merlin Olsen, not Merlin Olsen. And Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. Please consider giving this video a big thumbs up. Coming on quicker. Yeah, I know, seriously. It's ridiculous how fast it comes. The hope is that by the time your mom starts to need help, you'll have a house. Oh, there you go. Sure. Mom needs a shed. Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? They don't remember. Yeah. Oh, your dad had that? I'm sorry. Right. Absolutely. I think that's what, not to bring that up, but that's kind of why Robin did what he did. I think he said, forget this. I don't want to. Because it's not like, unfortunately, it drags out forever. And it's not like instant. You know what I mean? I think I would rather hit a bridge as well. I'm with you. Or drive into a wall, whatever you want to, whatever analogy you want to use. chips too. Chips. I'd love some chips right now. Marlon Perkins. Yeah, we were starting. If you rewind about, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes ago, we were talking all about Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom. And I hate to conjure up the name of John Denver, but we all acknowledge and pretty much agreed that the song Calypso is phenomenal. It's about that show. Great song. I'm not often one to crank John Denver, but when I do, that's when I'm going to crank up. Actually, there's another great song. Annie's song is very, very good. I recorded that for my wife. Fantasy Island. Yeah, I wasn't that into that one. That was, for me, a little bit later, and I lost my luster for television. Yeah, let's get back to Blowing Up. So I know, I'm sorry to bring it down. I don't even know why we got into that, but it just stinks. Yes, I agree. Let's go back. Did he? Oh, I'm so sorry, Stephen. And we take care of my dad. He moved in with us. Last time, I promise, we'll talk about this, but 4 years ago, actually, in October would be 4 years. He lived in Florida, was retired. We thought he was going to be there forever. Long story short, he wound up coming up with us. He lives with us, which, again, thank God we could take care of him. We had an extra room in the house that we literally always used to joke about, that one day when our parents need us, not, as John said, not realizing it would be so ridiculously fast. Like 2 years after we moved in, his dad. But he's still very with it and fine, but there's a deterioration taking place, and it's really tough. So I watch him. Thank God I'm home to watch him. One of the huge great things about doing this reselling stuff and not working anymore in the city like I used to forever is I can take care of him. So things all work out. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, it's tough. I don't know if any of you had to take care of your dad or mom when this is going on. That's what makes this. And the other, again, I promise the last time we're going to talk about it because I'm going to get upset. But the thing about it is it's not something that's going to get better. You know what I mean? Like every day is the best it's going to be. It's a slow deterioration. So that stinks to know that this is all going to just keep getting worse. It is kind of devastating. So I'm glad I'm home to take care of them. Fireworks. There we go. Let's blow up some bugs. Your internet died for a minute? Oh, I'm sorry. But good. You missed all the sad stuff, Dawn. Oh, the slee stacks were petrifying. I used to be very afraid of the slee stacks, John. Marshall, Will, and Holly on a routine expedition. The greatest earthquake ever known. High on a mountain, they struck this mighty raft. Sure. I know the show a little bit. Slee stacks were petrifying, I thought. Memphis Blaze are agreeing. Yeah, absolutely weird. They sound like snakes, right? They're like with the crazy eyes. My poor wife, who is petrified. Thank God, this is where being 9 years younger was a benefit. She doesn't even remember Land of the Lost, but she's terrified of aliens and UFOs and all that. So the last thing I need to do is show her a slee stack. She won't sleep for a month. Fly Away. Oh yeah, that's good too. Dawn killed him. I know. Oh my God, A-Sharp Puff and stuff. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, you mentioned senility, and it was all downhill from hankies were coming out. Everybody, all of a sudden, everybody's coming out of the woodwork saying that they lost. So, oh my God, not cool. Tis life, though. Tragically, tis life. Chubby Chaka, Chaka. There was. I know it's. By the way, before I even say this, it's not true. But if you ever look at Bobby Brady, right? Bobby Brady, and then Chaka. There were rumors at the time that it was Bobby Brady in the suit. It turns out it's not. But he looks and sounds just like Bobby Brady. Chaka. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Dawn. Yeah, I'm very glad. I'm home all the time for him. So, but she's the best. Yeah, he was weird. What was his name? Will Robinson, right? Run, Will Robinson. I like the robot, though. I thought the robot was very cool. Just realized was it Gilligan's Island ripoff? Ooh. Except they time traveled, right? They fell into a hole and went back a million years, but Yeah, I watched the Waltons. Again, everybody, I'm sure the question is for everyone. I never got that into the Waltons. I watched a few episodes. For some reason, they didn't appeal to me. Same thing with Little House on the Prairie. Never really got into that. Smith, that's yeah, Dr. Smith. There you go. I love the robot. I thought that thing was awesome. So if you go to 60s shows, you got all those types. Yeah. Lost in Space, you Bewitched. Yeah. It's funny, you had the Munsters and Addams Family, which is both sort of the same thing. You had Bewitched and I, Jiminy, which was sort of the same thing. Gilligan was kind of unique. Another topic, but all of us that are around the same age and remember the 70s as kids and all will remember the dreaded when you were sick. You had a cold, you were staying out of school, staying home from school. You sat down with the tray. I used to have like this tin tray. Mom would make, toast, cup of tea. I used to be told that drinking soda was only healthy when you were sick. When you had a fever, you could drink soda, it was healthy. But I'd be sitting there, and of course you'd have, Dick Van Dyke Show would come on, Paul Gilligan, Brady Bunch, all those shows, Munsters, would all come on. All the shows you never got to watch because you were in school, like Tuesday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. when you were in school. When you were sick in bed, you got to watch all those shows. Too Wholesome is what, the Little House on the Prairie and stuff. Yeah, I don't know if it's they were boring to me. Did they? Gingivitis, that's funny. Ginger's the only one left from that show. You know that? How crazy is that? She's the only one left. They're all gone. Your mom watched the Waltons? Yeah, it was a very popular show. I never got that into it. I don't know why. Just good night, John Boy. Good night. That was the shtick at the end. Yes, he did provide the intrigue. What a world! What a world! You like the Munsters? Yeah, they're pretty cool. Yeah, I liked it. Dick Van Dyke Show actually really was good. That's when Mary Tyler Moore was like the trophy wife almost. She was a lot younger than him. She was like 24 years older in that show or something. Get out of here, Netflix. So we have 2 new shows courtesy of Netflix that I never heard of. I don't know if I'd want to watch a remake of Land of the Lost. It was so ridiculously cheesy and terrible, but when you're a kid, you thought it was cool. I know, right? A lot of those shows that everybody loves and thinks so highly of, they were around for a couple of years. Batman was only on 2 years, right? I think the beginning of a 3rd series. But it's reruns made that Gilligan was only on a couple of years. All those shows. I Dream of Jeannie was actually on like 4 or 5 years, maybe. Not that that's long, but compared to the other shows, it was relatively long. And Bewitched, same thing. But then Bonanza was on forever, and Gunsmoke was on forever, and shows like that. I remember being little and watching Gunsmoke for some stupid reason. And Bonanza my dad loved Bonanza, so we always used to have Bonanza on. It's not a show I never really, maybe I was too young for it to enjoy it. They were all the same, gunfights and cowboys. The Munsters theme song is absolutely rocking. Extremely 60s. Almost has like a Ventures sound. Yeah, I know there was a black and white Batman way back. Yep. He had a really huge wing on his chest, like instead of the little one. I've seen clips of that. My favorite Martian, sure. Yeah, I'm a big fan of I love the series, the TV series. Like I think kids our age or around our age would all agree. Some of the movies have been cool, but they're nothing like the show. I'll never forget when that first Batman, the '89 Batman movie came out, and there were lines. We waited online forever, and everybody was shocked at how different it was from the show. I guess we all kind of thought it was going to be a new version of the TV show, or whatever, and it couldn't have been more different. I was actually a little disappointed. It was cool, but it was so unlike our Batman, we grew up with. That it was like, what? Why are they making this serious, moody Batman? I know the name. Who is he? I'm not going to look it up, I promise. Adam West was awesome. Anybody ever? I didn't meet, but I went to it was Burt Ward, Adam West, and Julie Newmar did it was only a few years ago. They did they went on like a tour, like a reunion tour thing or something. And we had tickets in Manhattan. We got to see them. I was just in the audience. It's really cool. We didn't get to ask many questions. I didn't get to ask any questions, but it was nice. They were just sitting up like at a dais and answering questions and talking about whatever anniversary it was for Batman. I was shy. He was another guy I was shocked when he died. Adam West was like the picture of health, and he was just gone one day. He had like skin cancer or something, I think. Some days you just can't get rid of a bomb. The best when he's doing the he's playing the flute and they're all following him. The shock repellent is great, absolutely. The glaring omission in the movie is Julie Newmar's on it. I love Julie Newmar. I think most Batman aficionados would agree she is the Catwoman, the only real Catwoman, and she's not in the movie because she was filming another movie at the time. Lee Merriweather was in the movie, right? The shock repellent's classic, and he's hitting the shock from the helicopter. Yeah, Lee Merriweather. We just thought, she was in the movie, and she was in like 2 or 3 shows. Barnaby Jones, sure. We talked about all that, right? Didn't that make its way into one of our chat shows? The whole Channel 2 in New York, Channel 2. CBS had all the mystery. You had Barnaby Jones, which was like a doctor. You had McMillan and Wife. Remember that? Rock Hudson. McLeod, Cannon, Beretta, all those kind of shows. Yeah, Julie Newmar, absolutely. Julie Newmar is still around. Incredible. She's like, she was. I watched it. It's so funny we're talking about Julie Newmar for no reason, but I watched a documentary on Julie Newmar for no reason at all on YouTube. You know, one of those things where you're watching something else and you click this. Anyway, I found myself sitting like dazzled in front of the YouTube computer screen, watching all about the life and times of Julie Newmar. I didn't realize she was like a trained ballet dancer. She's so elegant. I didn't know she was 6 foot tall either. She's huge. But yeah, amazing woman. You liked Eartha Kitt? I didn't like her at all. I get only because of Julie Newmar. I love Julie Newmar. Heart to Heart, I never watched that. Personally. No offense if you did. Fish, yeah. Remember the Fish show? Absolutely. With the kids. Abe Vigoda has always been in Godfather, he was Abe Vigoda, and Bonnie Miller, he was Abe Vigoda, and Fish. He's always the same age, the same exact look forever. He's awesome in The Godfather. Tell Michael it was just business. I always liked him. He just finally died. Abe Vigoda was around forever. Yeah, Ironside. Yeah, exactly. He always looked exactly this. I'm saying from The Godfather to, Fish was a cheesy show, but I remember watching that too, John. Like a bunch of kids. Hey, Fish. What's his name? The black kid from, what's his name? Bridges from Willis. What's the stupid show with Willis? I can't think of the name of the show. Anyway, that kid is in that show. Was in Fish. Yeah, Raymond Barr. Yep. Yeah, it was a terrible show, but I remember watching it. Anybody remember the show Angie? The guy from Airplane was in it, with the girl from Saturday Night Live, Saturday Night Fever, Angie. Let your love grow. Was the theme song. That was another show I watched for some stupid reason. Same time, Mork and Mindy was out a few years later, but Mork and Mindy was another show that captured the whole country, especially kids my age. Let me know what that is. Ironside was not a good theme song. Todd Bridges. There you go, Jeff. Yes. Different strokes. Thank you. You see, it's not easy when you're sitting here in front of everybody else and put a camera in your face and you can't forget all these names. It's difficult to remember all these different things, but when you start, it's funny. All this stuff comes back when you think about it. All of a sudden, it feels like yesterday. You know, picture of it, like we were talking about the Jiffy Pop, and literally feels like yesterday. I remember everything about those nights. You know. Mork and Mindy was, because Mork was on. Happy Days is another show that completely devolved over time. You know, the whole jump the shark euphemism, whatever it's called, was because of that. It's true. It started off as a really cool show about the 50s and everything, and then you had Fonzie, jumping sharks and an alien coming into the show. It became ridiculous. Yeah, Mork and Mindy was awesome. Used to watch that all the time. That's not a show was only on a couple of years, really, but was hugely popular. The rainbow suspenders. I actually had I don't want to admit that, but I had a pair of rainbow suspenders at the time. And they were in Colorado. We were talking earlier about Grizzly Adams always made me want to go to Montana. Mork and Mindy made me want to go to Colorado. That's very forgettable. Very forgettable. Love American Style. I remember Love American Style. Who was the? I thought it was from American Graffiti. Not from American Graffiti because Ron Howard was in it and Cindy Williams was in it too, right? From Laverne and Shirley. I like Laverne and Shirley because they were a spinoff of Happy Days. All those shows, Thursday night, and then Three's Company came out, and Three's Company was supposed to be like an adult show. I remember it was a big deal to watch Three's Company because they were on at like 9:00 after Happy Days and Laverne and Shirley. Tuesday nights, ABC. That was supposed to be like a dangerous show to watch. Three's Company. Yeah, seriously, all these shows were spinoffs. Lenny and Squiggy. Yeah, All in the Family, tremendous show, by the way. But All in the Family had like 5 spinoffs. Happy Days, like all those shows, they spawned so many other successful shows. It's incredible. Oh yeah, when Jonathan Winters, he was like later on, he came on. Yep, yeah, Three's Company was awesome. But you know what I mean? It was like for kids my age, it was like a risque show. Like I don't know why. You remember Soap? Remember the show Soap with Billy Crystal? That was another one. Like, ooh, you know, I don't know why, but it was considered like this adult show. Of course, when you're a kid, you want to see it even more. Soap and Mary Hartman. That one? Three's Company, yeah. Well, I don't even know what IFC is. What is IFC channel? Don't know what that is. Oh yeah, I know. I think this guy sings the Love Boat theme is worse though. Oh yeah, it is such a phenomenal show. You weren't allowed to watch Soap. Yeah, I remember it was a big deal. Soap was like this grown-up show. Soap, like I said, what was it? Mary Hartman, I remember for some reason was supposed to be this adult show. Three's Company was like an adult show. And of course, the ultimate taboo was Saturday Night Live when it first came out. But like I said, or alluded to, I had a little black and white TV in my room. So when kids in school were talking about this show that was like crazy on Saturday nights, I would wait. My parents were usually in bed already. And I would really quietly close my door and turn the TV on and try to watch Saturday Night Live. Yeah, it was a good show, but I don't know why it wasn't like that bad. But again, that's all relative. Exactly, that they were considered, and you know, at Three's Company, he was just playing a gay guy. He wasn't even really gay, you know, whatever. He was supposed to be playing one, and that made it risque. But it was like adult humor, I guess. I don't know. Which one, John? Three's Company or Soap? Yeah, same with me. Soap was like this taboo show for some reason in my house. Yeah, it was. It really was a novelty. Not later on, but like when I was little. I mean, before this, like I don't remember when I got one, but like early '70s, mid '70s. Like if you had a TV in your room, it really was a big deal. At least in my neighborhood, everybody had the living room, the main TV. You know, maybe your parents had one in their room, but mine was black and white. I had a black and white TV in my room forever, and I always, I never even thought twice about it. It's crazy now to think that. Like when Three's Company was on, I would sit in my room watching Three's Company on my black and white TV. And it was really a big deal. My sister, who was only a couple years younger, never had a TV in her room. So I felt like the king because like she had to ask permission to come to my room and watch a show. Because mom and dad are watching whatever they're watching in the living room. we used to watch. I mean, again, I know everybody knows all these shows. We used to watch Mary Tyler Moore together in the living room, and Bob Newhart, the real, not the newer Bob Newhart, the original Bob Newhart, when he's a psychologist, and MASH, of course, all those shows. Barney Miller. Welcome Back, Kotter. That was another one that was huge amongst kids my age. When being from New York and all, when Welcome Back, Kotter came out, that was like cult funny. Everybody had to watch that. Donnie and Marie, all these shows. You never had a TV in your room, really? Yeah, I was spoiled. Oh yeah, and then when Pong, oh my God, Pong. Well, we had Pong on our main television in the living room. Oh my God, that really was, for anybody who is either older than us and didn't think anything of it, or younger and don't remember it. It was a life-changing thing. And I never got into video games. I've talked about this. I never got in, like when Atari came out, I had Atari and I liked Atari for a couple of years, but then like it wore, I don't know, it didn't catch my interest. I like sports, so I would play baseball, and they were terrible on Atari. They were awful. And then kind of by then I was grown sort of, and in high school and playing ball and driving, and then younger kids, and then like 10 years later Nintendo comes out and I'm already 20 something years old or 30 years old, and I just never got into video games. But anyway, but Pong, I digress. Pong was very, very impressive. Oh, I believe it. Yeah. Atari, already talking about Atari. Yeah, I got it for Christmas, whatever, like 78-ish, 79 maybe. And we had Space Invaders, and it was awesome, and I loved Space Invaders. But nobody, like, you know what the thing was then? Nobody would play with me. Like, my sister had no interest, and you used to play the computer in certain games, and it was terrible. Like, so maybe that's why I never got into the games. I liked Space Invaders. Like Defender was a fun game. I liked the game called Adventure, which was a lot of fun. If anybody remembers that. So I played a few games, but like I said, then it was like, by the time high school came around, I was so busy. I played baseball and basketball, and I was heavily involved with all that. So I never like went home to play a game. You know what I mean? And it kind of died out, for those of you who remember. After a couple of years, like all of a sudden nobody really cared about Atari, and the television was out, and then there was like a dead space, and then Nintendo came out a few years, I don't know, late 80s maybe? I don't even remember. But whenever that came out, all of a sudden kids that were 10 years younger than me started getting into that then. And then that kind of, I think, sparked the modern video game thing. But I never got into those games because I was older already and didn't care. No, it usually required a cash payment actually done. Up your nose at a rubber hose? Absolutely. Oh, Shields and Yarnell. Holy cow. Yes. I was little, but does anybody remember Laughing? I used to love Laughing. That was another like sort of taboo show that was on really late, but I thought it was groovy with the colors and all. I remember watching Laughing when I was little. Yeah, Pong was. We had like Sears Pong or something. I think it was called Sears, whatever the Sears equivalent was, just the black and white, the lines. ColecoVision was later and was far superior to Atari. My cousin, the guy I was telling you that they had a cable before we had it in Jersey, he had a ColecoVision. That was like 83. That was later. And the games blew away Atari. They were so good and looked like, at the time, they had Zaxxon. Remember Zaxxon in the arcade? It looked like the space shuttle, but it was like a 3D game, and you went over walls and stuff. Well, anyway, I remember he had that on ColecoVision. It blew away anything Atari ever had. But then that died out too. And my cousin told me the rumor was that they were ruining the television somehow. Something about ColecoVisions were like blowing up TVs, literally like frying TV boards or whatever. So they just like died. And again, there was a dead spot where nobody cared about games, and all of a sudden that Nintendo came out, and everybody the younger kids started getting, like the Dawns, I guess maybe, started getting into them. Yeah, Gabe Kaplan. How about Battle of the Network Stars? Remember that on ABC? Gabe Kaplan was always like the captain of the ABC team. Battle of the Network Stars. Channel 7 in New York. And it was always on right around when spring training would start with the Mets. And I used to get so fired up. I would watch that and then put on a spring training Met game. Very interesting. Yes. Yeah, I used to love Laugh-In. I probably didn't get it. I was really young when Laugh-In was on, but I remember it being on. Like same thing with Sonny and Cher. I probably didn't get half the jokes, but I thought it was cool. Ringo Starr, my boy Ringo, was on Laugh-In once. So instant credibility. Absolutely. Coleco, right? Coleco football, the little which by the way, I sold a couple of those on eBay from the States. They had a baseball one too. Was it Coleco or might have been Coleco. A little handheld, sure. Yeah, little red dots. That I did. I actually did like those. You bet you sweet Bippy, yep. And what's the name? Who's the woman? Again, here we go with the senile moment. Too many names to remember. The girl, she pretends to be a little girl and she sat in the giant rocking chair. What's her name? She was in 9 to 5 years later. Lily Tomlin. Lily Tomlin, remember her? Your brother had Atari and a Game Boy that used to play. Yeah, Game Boy is like my kids played Game Boy. Coleco, yep. Coleco made the little pocket games. Yeah, those were cool. I had same with me, Maps. I had football and baseball. That's all I remember. Lily Tomlin, yep. I think I came up with it, Lori. She used to like a little girl, and she sat in a giant rocking chair. And for some reason, I thought that was cool. I don't know why. All right, guys, I am toast right now. It's 9:30. I hate to break up the party, but I think I'm gonna have to call it a night a little early tonight because I'm just so tired from yesterday and from today. Lee Tomlin, Steve Martin, yeah. Steve Martin was on the Sonny and Cher show. He was a writer. I remember seeing it again. The only time you ever see Steve Martin without white hair, probably see it on YouTube. He was on Sonny and Cher a couple times, and he has like dark hair. You're so proud of me? Of what? Thank you, but why? For hanging in here to chat with you fine folks. Really love. Oh, Red Skeleton. Wow. Oh yeah, UHF. Remember that? Sure. Yeah, CBS. That's a great point. I don't know if it was UHF, but CBS was always the channel that was the most fuzzy with me too. Always. That's funny. Grace and Frankie. I don't even know what that is. Yes, he did. Oh, Smothers Brothers. I remember the Smothers Brothers too. I like the Smothers Brothers. Again, Ringo was on the Smothers Brothers too, and so was George Harrison. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry. I really gotta go get some rest. But I thank you so much for hanging in there and just chatting with me. We really didn't accomplish much more than chat, but it was a lot of fun anyway. I hope you guys had fun. I'll be on Whatnot on Wednesday, 6 p.m. for some more cool print ad lots. We're gonna have a lot. I think I put like 25 lots up this time, and that's Wednesday. Friday we'll do our listing show. We'll probably continue with the print ads from the 40s from World War II. Hope you guys enjoy that. I have a lot of fun showing them off. Anybody, again, as always, any questions, comments, feel free on YouTube or just email me, Gmail. What's Gmail at Jiminy Flip It? Yeah, JiminyFlipIt at gmail.com. Have a great night, everyone. It's been a lot of fun. I really appreciate you hanging out with me. And I will see you over on Whatnot Wednesday. And